Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. You and me. All right. Hey, Foam. How's it going? Just checking. The volume is good, right? It's not crazy. I don't change my volume settings, but it always changes in between streams, and I have no idea why it does that. So I hope this is solid. But how goes it? How was your weekend? Yes, it is Monday. Brain. So, okay, we're doing an embedded. Oh, no worries, Firebrand. No worries. I enjoy it. Thank you for stopping by. So, this is what they call symbiotic. Oh, you had snow? I mean, I'm in California, so we had... It was cold for California, which is like 58 degrees, which isn't much. So, waiting for scheduling an interview. Nice. Interviews are popping. But, I love the cold, like actual cold. I visited my fiance's parents and my aunt in Colorado, and it was snowing and I was in my element. There is always that one dude without with its short sleeves like this in snowing weather, and that dude is me. I am that dude in shorts and snow. That's me submitting an application. Good. You have some chance to pass the behavior interview. Did they tell you the interview process? Because, behavior interview could be different. So, can you give me more details? I'm going to need more details. Because it's just... Some companies are just going to have the first part as a phone screen. Others are going to have some other stuff. So, just let me know what their process is, and I can try and tell you. Although, again, it's going to vary based on company. Three technical interviews. Ugh. And 1 behavioral interview. Did they say what the behavioral interview is like? RTS, GPU, problem. So this is oh, here it is. C, RTS, GPU. Okay, these are some of them. Let's do parallelization. That sounds terrifying, truthfully. Software optimization. Multi-round interviews, even for internships, seem to be the norm today. Yeah, it's the worse the job market is, the worse the interview process is going to be. That's unfortunately just the thing. When the market is good for your industry, the interview process shrinks. When it's bad, it expands. If I'm applying for a software engineer, data scientist role, is it better to use standardized resume for current roles or use different names to stand out to be unique? For example, instead of data science, I could say I'm an economic modeler, so stand out for data, or should it be the standard? Because, also, Foam, I've not worked for Google. I don't know their exact process, but I will answer that in a second. But Firebrand, your goal should be to be as boring and easy to read as possible. So if you say you are an economic modeler and the recruiter may not know the industry as much, or they don't see it, they may see your first job as economic modeler and they're like, well, that's not a data scientist, skip. So be very clear. Just say data scientist. It should be broad and basic. Is there a way for me to even find out? Google behavioral interview. Let's see. I think I can see a guide from this. Google behavior interview causes googliness and leadership. General cognitive from the engineering and cultural fit. The interviews are crucial. Understand leadership at Google is important. Blah blah blah. For every role, for some reason, what does it look for? Blah blah blah. Candidates think. Leadership skills. Can we get an example of a question? These are all standard. Tell me about behavioral questions. It makes sense to get the right match for the role. You are applying for or not. Tell me about this time. Okay, so would that still be the case for when the hiring manager sees it, or is it better for them to see a standardized? Standardized. Always standardized. The example I'd like to use for that, and I'll go back and multitask, which I'm not good at. the example that I'm going to use that is I had a manager that asked me to find data lake stuff, and I searched for a bunch of candidates, and basically none of them had data lake on it. So I went back to the manager and I'm like, hey, none of these people have data lake. Can I have different questions? And they said, no. If it has data lake on it, they should have it on the resume. And I'm like, just in case they don't, give me some questions. And I ended up asking that to 3 of the candidates who would have been declined. One of them did not have it. The other 2 did. And one of those got hired. So you want to use standardized stuff because the very good managers may not have had to hire in a very long time. And they may not know essentially the language that is now used. Even basically in the time since their last hire, what something is called could have been different. So maybe a data scientist was called like a data modeler, but they would know the data scientist. So always use standardized. Because remember, you're not trying to stand out in the interview process. Or the resume. The interview is where you stand out, but you stand out based on how you answer questions, how you conduct yourself, that kind of stuff. So, this goes to another thing of, it's not that the manager doesn't understand the industry, but the terms and essentially the slang of the industry may have changed. So that is what you have to be wary of. So let me see this with C++ and embedded. I think that's right. Yeah, that's good. C++ environments, microprocessors. Designed IDEs, compilers, debuggers, software, IDF, knowledge of ISO. Really, ISO? Huh. Well, this one might be a bonus. So, all right. So then we go to here, which is tell me about a time in the team. These are standard questions. All right. So, Foam, basically, from what I can tell, is these are just sort of standard interview questions. So, tell me about a time you led, assuming these are the right questions, admittedly. Tell me about the time you had to deal with ambiguity. Tell me about the time you made a mistake. Tell me about the time when you failed to meet a deadline. What they're trying to suss out from this is a couple of things, but the best way to think of it, and this goes across most industries, is the hiring manager is there to hire you to fix a problem. What that problem is going to vary, but they want to make sure that you can fix the problem they have and not cause other problems. So here, time you led a team, they want to make sure that you can work with others. A time you failed, they want to make sure that if you fail, you don't just throw the desk away and then walk away. They want to know you can keep going. So they want to basically know that you can work in a team, that you, if you failed, you can keep going, etc., etc. Basically, okay, so for every interview question, and I'll go back to you, Firebrand, you want like 2 to 3 sentences of an answer. So tell me about a time I led a team. For me, I had basically dotted line control-ish. There was a couple of dotted line reports that directed to me. I trained them on how to source because there was a difficult issue of sourcing and time. And what I did was we ended up basically increasing the amount of placements, and other people in the industry, other people in the company used the training I used to great success. Tell me about a time I failed. There was a time when I failed to document something properly, and because of that, it caused an issue for me. I realized that going forward, I needed to work on documentation to make sure all my T's and I's are dotted and crossed, and I kept going and attempted to fix it. So basically, that's kind of how you ask that, because for the time you failed, they want to know that you can keep going and that you learned your lesson. I think this is sort of the equivalent for STAR. Yeah, it's just, I like to think of it as a story. Not that STAR is bad, I'm just hard to connect with the STAR method personally, but I just think like a very small story of how you overcame, how you kept going, basically you were resilient, or you fixed a problem, or you made it that. Yeah, so I think STAR is correct. If that's the way that it works, that's good. I don't know why I've never had luck with that. Okay, these seem to be correct. Correct. And then embedded systems. So it makes perfect sense. How much flexibility do we have in naming roles? Like, if my job while I was hired was Python developer, but all the things that a software engineer did and more, would I be allowed software engineer? So here's where I don't care about cheap viewers. I don't want cheap viewers. Ban that person. There we go. Brain. I got like no sleep last night, so I'm still functioning on fumes. Skip the resume. I'm trying to have channel points for people so they can use stuff. Skip the resume line is if you redeem that, I will bump you up in the queue. It is still in beta, so I'm not sure. There's a couple of things I need to fix. So, but how flexibility? Basically, so flexibility in naming titles is going to be this, is there are internal company titles and external company titles. Internal titles are sort of how the company determines your pay band, your duties, and that kind of stuff, and they usually don't make sense. So external titles are the one that we call each other. And as an example, for one of the companies I worked at, the internal title was like information technology developer, when it was, but we called them in the job description software developers. So as long as you can say to the manager in the interview that technically my title was X, but everybody called us and it seemed that that was actually Y. So that's where it is. Like if you're a cashier at McDonald's, don't say you're the CEO. But if you're, a software developer and your title is weird, then you can just do software developer. So, but Clem, I do not watch basketball. So, hello, can we please have more interview sessions or a day when we talk about interviews? Yeah, no, I mean, look, you asked me the question, I will answer it. I am thinking maybe of like a channel point reward of doing like a mock interview, but I don't know yet. I'm still trying to like get better channel point rewards. So, because I'm trying to figure that out. It's also tough because like I don't want it to be paid, so it's like free to play. So I have to determine how to do this. So I think maybe like skipping the line or maybe highlighting a question if I get more people. So, all right, Linux SDKs. Ugh, bear, that is vile. Ugh. All right, I think this is good for now. Let's just look at one more real quick. Oh, this is a nightmare. PA, hardware system on chips, Linux. Linux was a huge one. The whittle teeny Linux. There we go. All right, that should be good enough. All right. Hey, love, how you doing? Bear has been given a treat. If that is the case, if the job interview title... okay, Bear, sit. Okay, we're going to do a catch. 3, 2, 1, catch. Good boy. Good catch. Okay. So, job titles are also something non-standard or forced to keep it whatever the job description. I mean, it's you. So, on your resume, I am a firm believer that you should change your job description to what was most like your job for clarity. Because, again, as long as you can say during the interview that our official title was X, but everybody just called us Y. Because my official title at some of the jobs were like talent advisor or like technical recruitment developer or something. So, and those don't mean anything. So I just call myself recruiter and then I tell them that in the interview. I said technically my title was like internal technical recruitment or whatever, but everybody just called us recruiters. So that is how you do that. All right, let's do this resume. We're good. All right. This is a resume of an embedded software engineer, and they are a recent grad. They're planning on creating a portfolio website, looking for jobs nationwide, but they prefer staying in their home place. So, what we're going to be looking for in an embedded software engineer is like 80% of these. A single resume is probably not going to have all of them, and that's okay. But the most important ones are going to be C++, C, RTOS, GPU development, multi-threading, embedded systems, Linux, IDEs, and then basically the rest, which is going to be like software optimization, embedded systems, microprocessors, microcontrollers, ISO, FDA. So ideally, we're just going to be looking for like I said, 70% of these, and their ratio is 100 to 1, which is not good. So let's see what we can find. Although admittedly, I haven't done a ton of software embedded resumes, so again, there may be a couple of these that I'm missing, but we'll see. So this is too long. This is absolutely too long. You can keep it to one line. That is fine. Skills. Again, not a huge fan of skill sections, but you kept it to 3 lines. Although you shouldn't, I guess, center this like this. It should, if you're going to keep it, which I'm not a huge fan of, it should be normal formatting. So don't have it over here. Make it like that, because that's easier to read. So projects. Selected to participate in the California Space Consortium. Collaborate with a team of 6 design. Contribute to design using CAD. Again, this is, I don't know why this is up front. None of this is in what I saw as an embedded software engineer. Smart gloves for motion detectors. Smart gloves, wireless communications, IMUs, computer sensors. Yeah, again, so maybe it's my lack of experience with embedded software engineers in particular, but this is not what they're looking for. This is, here's why. I have to go all the way here, and I haven't gotten a single bullet point of the skills that I'm looking for. So, created extensive documents for algorithms, utilized Python. Weirdly enough, Python was in 1 or 2, but it's not as major. Embedded, here we go. Yeah, this is why this resume is not working, is I have to go all the way here to find basically the first thing I want. Because these don't count unless they're in bullet points. Developed AI, algorithms, like AI, algorithms, agile environment, CSS. Yeah, if, like, okay, I gotta double check to make sure this is actually the right resume, because I'm not finding anything here. So I'm on a separate page just double checking that this is correct. It is, yes. This definitely would not pass. I don't see any of this for embedded software. Yeah, that's why this is having an issue. You don't have anything I'm looking for. And remember, the first stage is usually through the recruiter or potentially a manager who may not be as technical, and they're going to be looking for those keywords that are right there. So, yeah, this could not pass because I don't see anything I need. Like, here, I'm going to do a Control F. Do I see Linux? There's one. Nope. But again, not in the bullet points, so it doesn't count. RTOS, which was huge. Again, it's in the skills section, and it's not in the projects or bullet points. Is there multi-threading? No, I don't see multi-threading. Yeah, so it doesn't count unless it's here. That's my rule, and I think you are now realizing that as well, which is why you have a 100 to 1 ratio. So please add those bullet points and those skills, because this is why you're not having it. Formatting wise, it's okay. It's just the bullet points are not there, which is why you're not getting selected. So let's move on to the next resume. We def can't duo queue now that I'm in plat. Nice, you're in plat. Hell yeah. I am solidly silver 3. So let's see. That's. Hey Robbie, you remember several weeks ago and I took your advice. Now I've gotten 5 calls in the last month, maybe 30. Hell yeah, that's so nice. Good. I am. You know what? I'm pinning your message. So thank you. That is awesome. I'm very glad. I am very, very glad. Hell yeah. Good. In fact, I am going to copy this in my little success sheet. So here is something that I recommend everybody do that is not necessarily related to recruitment or getting in a job. This is just something I found useful in the corporate environment. And that is to keep a little kudos list in your emails or whatever, so that whenever somebody says you did a good job, you can reference that. So that is what I would recommend you do, and it is very beneficial. It has actually helped me a lot in a bunch of stuff. I just now need to I need to bullet points, common questions, interview common terms. Where the hell did I actually put that list? Do I even have it? Don't. Okay. Do what I say, not what I do, because I can't find it. Okay, let me do this. So, kudos. There we go. And this was on, and I need to mark the day, which was 2/3/2025. So, how does a background check work at most companies when they verify the validity of your resume? But also, how deeply do they verify role titles and whether or not they were official role? It's done by another company called Sterling or HireRight. Those are the most common ones. And they usually just call and they ask for, did they work there, X or Y? Then they usually, HR will then go, yes, they worked here from 2020 to 2024. That's usually it. It's going to depend on how deep the background, but typically that's the point. I am active on LinkedIn-ish, but like I don't post a lot. Because I'm not good at getting likes and engagement on it. I mean, I use it to search for candidates, which is what I did yesterday, but I don't actually post a ton. But I am on LinkedIn. So, anyway, Robbie, I'm still very glad that you got more interviews. Hell yeah. Where is this? Okay. Also, if everybody wants to look at my YouTube channel, I am now have horrifying thumbnails that I worked on over the weekend, and they are horrifying, but that's the meta, and I gotta follow it, which I hate. I actually hate those thumbnails, but they help me get more people to view them. So, but yeah, I am active on LinkedIn, so, I mean, I feel like most recruiters have to be active on LinkedIn. I personally don't think the social media aspect of LinkedIn is very worthwhile, but it is very good if you are like a recruiter. Okay, this person has their phone number, I think. So let me make sure this is gonna be seen. There we go. Oh, nope, wrong button. Nope. Okay, there we go. Haven't been active on the market. I don't have ratios. Been doing mass applying. Revised the previous version. Found out that usually I write something that is not useful to the recruiters. With that in mind, had tried to read reminders. Now it's great to know if this is somewhere near to what recruiters want to see. Okay. When the recruiter or hiring manager reviewing the resume, do they print each one or review it on a computer screen? I want to say the latter, but some people like paper. Most, I think, view recruiters on the computer screen because that is what the ATS, but I do know people that will print it out and look at it. So it's going to vary. Most of the time, though, it's going to be on the computer screen because that's where the ATS is. So, yeah, I definitely know people that prefer pen and paper. Like when I first started, they actually, to get me used to cold calling, they printed out a giant stack of resumes and they said call, and I did, and that actually helped because it broke my fear of what to do. Let's see, this is a software engineer. Okay. And then again, we don't know what kind, so... So can the font on the resume be smaller since the resume can be viewed on screen and they can zoom it, or what would be a recommended font size? 10.5. I recommend 10.5. 10.5 Arial, I think, is the perfect size. It is both the smallest but most legible that you can get it. So 10.5 Arial, and then the actual name should be a little different. But yeah, I'm still working on the... Can I actually copy paste this? Is this going to show up? Let's see if this actually works. Okay. So, font Arial for the name, 14 in bold. Education, everything else, but like that is bold. Do not bold anything else. But yeah, 10.5 is what you want everything to be. Actually, this, I don't like what I just wrote here. That is hard to read, and I'm going to delete it. Can I delete it? I don't know how to delete it. All right, well, that's there. So 10.5, you want it to be 10.5. Your actual name should be 14, and then your contact information and city, state, US citizenship or whatever should be 12, but everything else needs to be 10.5 Arial. It is both dyslexic friendly and easy to read. And I actually had somebody do tests or one or two, and they were worried that it was too small, but it was actually perfect for somebody who was hard of seeing, and it was visible enough that they could do it. So 10.5. Okay, we have an ad in 4.5 minutes, and I don't have any snoozes. Boo, I don't have snoozes. So we're gonna chill for that time. And then I'm gonna go get more tea because I need caffeine because my brain is tired. So during the ad. But yeah, 10.5. So what I was actually thinking to do for my resume guide is, because I was like trying to figure out how to do it. Okay, good. It's still not visible there. How to do it, how to do everything else. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna make like a Google Excel sheet, and basically it's a little hard to see from this area, but have like the rules and the formatting and the bullet points like this, and then everybody can just get access to it. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. It's still a project from far away because, again, I have to do it during my off time, but that would be the goal. What is the order of viewership for the resume? Does a recruiter see it first? Yeah, it's typically recruiter, then either a phone screen with the recruiter or directly to the manager. But recruiters are the first one. Obviously, if a company is like sub 50 employees, they probably don't have a recruiter on staff. So, but then it would be the manager. But typically companies with like more than 50 will have a dedicated recruiter, or at least like a contract out to one, and they will look at it first. So, also formatting wise on my own, I'm going to move this maybe over the weekend so that it's more visible, because I realize it's kind of hard to see the actual, you know, qualifications and skills, and that's pretty important. So, but yeah, recruiters go first because of volume. And we do know how to screen resumes typically. I know everybody makes fun of us for it, but a lot of the times, and a good recruiter will weed people in rather than weed people out. So, because it's just, managers will sort of get overwhelmed if they don't do this on a regular basis, and they don't know how to read resumes, and they'll get stuck reading each resume for like 5 minutes, not find anything they need, or not necessarily the slang that they're used to, and then, you know, they may reject it. So if you do the review stage right and you ask the manager the correct questions, and the manager has a solid idea, it is more efficient to have a recruiter do it. Which is really the purpose of internal recruiters, is, I think, to save the manager's time. That is our job, because there's more than that, but hiring managers don't like hiring. It's not fun. They hate it. I actually dislike the term hiring manager specifically for that purpose, is because it sort of gives the impression that this is somebody who hires regularly. And while that could be the case, most of the time it's a manager who has to hire rather than a hiring manager. So, which is my personal bugbear with the word hiring managers, because everybody gets the opinion of somebody that's not actually the case. So, sometimes it'll go through a sourcer first before it gets to the recruiter, who basically is like another mini recruiter in a way at internal companies. They also do more stuff if they do outreach, but most companies, that's not necessarily always the case. So, again, this is where you get to company-specific stuff, and it gets kind of weird, because, like, company A may do it this way, company B doesn't. Yeah, I'm going to get more tea when I go down. downstairs during the break. So, but you also asked who sees it after, just the interviewer. Typically, it'll be recruiter, then interviewer, and then if there's a team interview, they will show it with the team, but it's usually those people. So. Typically, but yeah. All right, Ad, come on, so I can go get more water, and I don't have to, and I can review the next resume, which has just been sitting here, or no, sitting here. That's where it is, because my right is still there. That's where it is. Yeah. Okay, this person is clearly EU, and I don't know enough about EU hiring, although their formatting is awful. It's very close to good. Because, like, you're gonna know, like, this is so small and it's harder to read. This is large. They need to change up that formatting. All right. I will be right back. I'm getting more tea. All right, we're back, and now I can review this resume. Okay, they don't know. Yeah, okay, I just have to review this raw. I don't know. Oh, I really wish they could give me numbers, especially when it's outside the US, because I'm always afraid that the resume meta outside the US is going to be different. But I don't know. So, at least I know this stuff works in the EU a little, some of the places in the EU. I've gotten somebody a job in the interviews in the EU and a job in Africa. So I am cross-continental, which makes me happy. Because that's really cool. I think that's neat. So let's review this. Yeah, okay. This is a resume of a senior software engineer. I cannot scroll up because they put their full contact information. They also don't have any ratios. They told me that they just started really searching for a job, and they're not sure if this resume will work. From a formatting perspective, no, I can already tell it's not going to. But I don't know what kind of software engineer. So they want to know if this has what recruiters want, and I'm going to say probably not. So let's see if we can't figure out what kind of software engineer they are. My guess is going to be based on a couple of the keywords, full stack or back end, more particularly Java. So, summary, 8 years of experience, advanced knowledge of development processes, blah, 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 blah. This, I like this, CICD. Yeah, this can be deleted. In most cases, you do not need a summary. There are some exceptions, but I do not think this is one of those exceptions. So I think, truthfully, you could probably delete all this. Although it does look like these are the correct keywords for what you're going to be looking for, but I need them in bullet points. So this formatting is awful. Also, I don't know what your degree is. If you have one, it should go where the summary was. But this formatting is not great. You're very close to good formatting, and I want you to use the formatting that my the formatting I have. So below this, there is a resume, like a template resume. Please use that. So this is hard to read. So, because like projects, this doesn't work. Again, I think these are the correct keywords. I think you're very good on that, but I need them here. Because if the keyword is not in a bullet point, it doesn't count. Led efforts to improve accountability, architected. Architected is a good word. Kafka is fine. See, Japan markets, revenue growth, migrated to the knowledge sharing. CI/CD is good. So here's the problem. This is what I actually care about. This is what most managers actually care about. This, not as important. And this is so hard to read because there's so many different keywords and things that I'm not actually going to care about. But I have to get basically to like here before I find a keyword or two that I like. Kafka and Redis are one and API is another. But that's all the way here, and you've only really given me like 2 or 3 keywords. API is solid. Yeah, so your bullet points need to be redone and your formatting needs to be redone. The very first bullet point under each job is a summary of your job duties. So what you can say for this, assuming this is correct, is led a team of X software developers where we did X and Y in an environment of Java, Python, potatoes, Datadog, whatever the heck you want to say. So, and AWS. AWS is important. And then every other bullet point needs to be the what, which is the keyword or qualification, the how, which is how you did it, and the why, which is why you did it. So this resume, again, this is a case of a resume that would probably pass before 2022 because that market, and clearly this is in the EU, and I do not know the EU market, but I'm assuming it's bad as well. So I don't think this would pass in today's market. Because a recruiter is going to see this, then they're going to skip down here, and then they're going to miss all the keywords. Then they're going to skip down here. Then they're going to have trouble reading this, and they can't find it. Then they're going to go over here, and then they're going to say, oh, AWS, where is it? And they're not going to find it anywhere here. And they're going to think you barely touched it. So your bullet points need to be with, like, this stuff. Actually, here, this is basically all the keywords you would need, and CI/CD, which you need to add, and agile, and then put them in the bullet points. So I do not think this resume would pass in today's market, unfortunately. So let's go to the next resume. Feel like unless you're doing Comic Sans or something egregious, the biggest reason is the bullet points. Yeah, I think so too. But I like Arial because, again, I am dyslexic and it's helpful, but I found that when I implement strategies that are dyslexic friendly, it actually helps the comprehension of other recruiters as well. So ideally, Arial is the best. There are others, like you said, but every time I said, and you can use any others, somebody will do like Wingdings or something, and I'm like, cool. That's not good. So I just say Arial. Arial works. You don't need to do anything else with it. They will try and call that company and they won't be able to confirm it. That doesn't mean it's a rejection. It just means they won't. In addition, the way background checks work is if there is something wrong with that, there is always the case of you essentially fighting back against that. And they will probably tell the manager, hey, they didn't work at X or they can't find it. Or alternatively, you can say, hey, I worked at X, but it's closed down. I don't know how to give you that anymore. So if you have a pay stub or something, it's beneficial because then you can send it to the like higher right or Sterling. But, you know, it depends. Like, I think if you worked at like a company for 6 years and they can't find it, that's an issue. But if you're only there for like 6 months, they'll probably be like, meh. So. Oh, caffeine, please kick in more. Oh, that wasn't the last resume. That was the last resume of that video. Alright, well, that's going to be an awkward cut, but whatever. It's not huge. Wait, what? Did this work? Sorry, y'all, give me a second. I need to test this video. Okay, good. So it did work. It just did something funky on the... Whoa, what do you mean file is open in shell infrastructure? Okay, I closed it. We're good. There's no other extra sound. Okay, can I do this now? What do you mean? What do you mean this is open in shell? There's no shell. Okay, hold on a second, y'all. I'm having computer issues. Okay. Control-Alt-Delete. Hopefully this won't break everything. Let's see, Google Chrome, OBS. Okay, well, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, that's titled. Nope, computer, stop. Everything is frozen. Oh gosh, I hope I don't have to restart my computer. If I do, I will be right back. Okay, I think that's fixed. I cannot click on anything. Everything is stopped. If it was an unpaid internship, could I show emails? Yeah, you could show emails. And again, if you have like 3 correct internships and 1 unpaid one that you can't find, that might be okay. Oh my god, I cannot click on anything. Okay, if I shut down the stream, I will be right back with it. I'm gonna try not to though. Let's see this. This is good. That's good. What is sucking up all of my computer stuff? Memory, Google Chrome, of course you are, Microsoft Edge. What the heck? Okay, I think we're good. Windows Explorer. Okay. I cannot click on anything. If I have an Asian name, should I specify that I'm a U.S. citizen on my resume? I was born here but don't want to cause any bias. I might not be via visa. Yeah, so I think you should always put your citizenship, if possible, to remove any bias. Because, yeah, that's beneficial. Okay. I don't want to sync. Why is everything broken? How do I fix this? Okay, Control-Delete. Okay. Where is this? This is a folder, right? This is it. Okay, so if I just fix it. Okay, I think I fixed it. Sorry, y'all. That was everything broke. Let me go back to this. Okay, let's go back up. Go down into resumes and that. Okay, I think I fixed it. That was a nightmare. Okay. You've also mentioned that the worst resumes you see are graphic designers and nurses. It's graphic designers, marketers, and then nurses are above them. I've heard you explain the graphic designer, but why nurses? So I consider graphic designers and marketers to have the same bad type of resume, which is they focus on essentially looking pretty and marketing over anything else. Okay, cool. Yeah, all of this is busted. Oh god, it's a rite of passage streamer to have troubleshooting problems live, right? I'm glad I made that mark. Nurses. So the reason nurses have bad resumes. Oh right, this is why this is here. I don't want you OneDrive. Stop trying to like fix everything. I don't want you here. Quit. Okay, that might have been the cause. So nurses I will show you why. In fact, having recently searched for nurses, this weekend I am reminded of why they are issues. Every single bad formatting problem you can have, it will be there. In addition, a lot of nurses will have a resume that looks like this. It'll say Lee, contact information, nurse at hospital 2022 to 2025, nurse at hospital 2021. That is it. That is exactly what all of them say, maybe education. I actually found one exactly like this yesterday too. Every single bad formatting you can imagine, nurses have all of it, or they have nothing there. Everybody who's worked in nursing knows that nurses have the worst resumes. they have either nothing there or it's like triple column and everything's everywhere. But yeah, most of them are just like this. So, and they still get hired because they're very much in demand. So, how is the current tech job market in comparison to the .com crash in 2008 market? So, I was not recruiting in both the .com crash and the 2008. I graduated like 2013, whatever my LinkedIn says. I don't actually remember. So, but yeah, I from what I have been able to talk with people, this is not as bad as the .com crash or 2008 market. People on Reddit were mentioning that it's much worse because at least in the .com crash there was a low supply, but now there's too many and recovering will be more harder, not possible. I don't fully know because again I wasn't there for that. But I think this is not necessarily as bad, although I do see their point of the reason is because of volume. So I think it is worse for new grads over experienced devs. That's my vote. But that is a guess because I have not... Yeah, that was a OneDrive issue. That was why this all broke. I have not recruited during those times. But yeah, that is a nursing resume. Like, when I was looking at nursing resumes, one of them just said, nurse, 2022 to 2025. And then the next one had, like, triple columns in every color. And then the other one had a crazy amount of formatting. And then the next one was nurse, 2022 to 2023. And it's just, like, everything, like, nurses are the final bosses of resumes. But also it doesn't matter because they're that valuable that they can kind of put nothing on them and still get hired. So, but I think I think it may now be worse for new grads, but in IT, but not as bad as for vets. I think a real issue is outshoring, and is going to be an issue. So, but if you're a senior dev that's willing to go on site, you stand a way better chance. So, okay, what is this? A growth product. Okay, oh gosh. I don't know what a growth product manager is. Did I do that one before? Keywords, template, do I have one? Okay, I have to look up what a growth product manager is real quick. What is a growth product manager? Primarily focus on business growth. Okay, cool. So basically new clients. I guess PM the growth. What is the difference between PM and growth PM? Traditional PM will spend a lot of time buffing the edges of their product. A growth PM will tinker away at the moving parts to see which small changes can make the biggest difference. Okay, that doesn't help me. We are learning what this is live. Okay. Let's see. Product marketing manager. You probably worked out product marketing manager focus on launch. DMT, where growth manager focus more on optimizing growth. I assume growth is new clients. Okay, so yeah, user behavior. Okay, that's makes more sense. Again, this is also pretty accurate to what happens to internal recruiters is we will get like 3 IT roles, 2 product growth managers, a project manager role, a product manager role, a project manager role, a growth product manager role, and like 3 scientist roles, and you have to fill them all. So this is why I say don't trust that your recruiter knows your industry because they are probably working in multiple industries. And I even told managers, I'm like, bro, look, when I'm doing this rec, I'm like, I have filled roles in oligonucleotide scientist, IT, and manufacturing. And do you think I'm an expert in all those industry? No, I do it because I know what the managers want, and that lets them know my industry knowledge and how we can work to actually find what they need. So this is a big reason of like, don't trust that your recruiter knows your industry because it's very probable that their internal recruiter is working in multiple industries, and you can't. It also doesn't make sense from a logistics point because one recruiter will handle approximately 50 roles a month ish, give or take, depending on the company, and those are going to be in different types of positions. So you cannot hire a recruiter that's previously experienced in marketing and then hire another recruiter with previous experience in IT and another with previous experience in management. You would have like 40 recruiters and have to fire them all. So never trust that the person reviewing your resume knows your industry. Let's do past week for this. Associate product manager, product manager growth. Okay, let's see if these are good job descriptions. But yeah, I wish I could show nurse resumes, but it's so they're usually the worst. After nurses, it's marketing and UI people in no order, but nurses are the final bosses every single time. Any recruiter who has worked with nurses is like, yes. Which, to be fair, it makes sense that they're a different breed because they deal with lives lost on potentially a daily basis. So they are made of sterner stuff than me. But it also means there is a different way to handle nurses than others. Personalization, onboarding, lifecycle management. All right, I am finding a couple. This is good. If you go through interviews and the recruiter says you'll hear back in a certain time frame and you don't hear back one way or the other, when is appropriate to reach out again? Probably about end of day of that day or the next day. That's the best way to do it. So, because that's why personally I try not to give any of those things, because I once when I started be like, yeah, I'll let you know in a week, but the manager hasn't let me know, and now they're on vacation, so I have to say like I actually don't know. But yeah, usually about a day after a certain time frame, and then just say something like, hey X, just following up. Told me previously I would hear back by then. Just let me know if there's a new timetable for feedback. Just make sure it's very polite. You don't want to come off as condescending or passive aggressive. And I would say typically email is best. But yeah, email is best, and then phone if a last resort. Dynamic customer market research, competitor analysis. Yeah, okay, complex topics. Again, this is the commonest one. Oh, I already put those in. Aha! And then let's do explain complex topics. There's not a lot of growth managers, but actually there's a solid amount. I'm incorrect now that I'm looking at this. Monetization and CRO. Ooh, boy, these are words. Is this even showing up? This is the last line I have. So Figma, A/B testing, UI. Oh no, it's doing that. Okay. Data analyst, CRO. Okay, I want to do one more just to confirm. Although there's only like 4 or 5 of these in the whole thing, and some of them do go back to product management. Again, project, product, and everything else is different. This is cross-functional. I think this is correct. Cross-functional, and then let's do customer. Oh boy, customer. There's so many words here. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's just the best I can do with this. So let's go to this resume, which is not that one. All right. Oh, they said thank you. So let's see. Nope, wrong button. And away we go. Oh, did I change something? What did I change my layout to? I have no idea. Okay. Um, that's good. That's good. And did they say anything else? It was a more simplistic additional user feedback that nudged me to redesign it. Okay, cool. We are reviewing a product growth manager, and there is an abundance of keywords and qualifications for this one. So if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It is very helpful. And this product growth manager has a 100-to-1 ratio, which isn't great. They told me that they heard about a minimalistic format from a website, and they wanted to know, and also my feedback, which is why they thanked me. So thank you. I appreciate it. So what we're going to be looking for is like everything. Growth, e-commerce, marketplace, consumer tech environment, onboarding, personalization, lifecycle management, Figma, Framer, A/B, experimentation and testing, in-depth market research, competitor analysis, customer, explain complex topics, CRO, and cross-functional. So I do like this better formatting wise. I prefer mine, but let's see the education. Education, information technology. Okay, that's fine. This actually not a lot of them required a BA, so it would be beneficial to put it up top. But let's keep looking. Also, this is harder to read on my screen. I don't know if this is Arial or not. Let me see. It should reformat. You want ideally Arial 10.5. That is the optimal font. So. Founder, okay, remember, founder, it could be a very red flag to a lot of people. I would just put product and growth consultant. Built a marketplace for sustainability and ESG, onboarded 70 experts, generated a 7-figure revenue. I need more explanation for this, but I actually do like this. Consulted, 10 purpose-driven startup product and growth, emerged, this is fine, pivoted to offline agriculture, sales, launched new products, guided by market research, Myling, optimized 150K USD, ad spend for 6-8 years, and added, okay, so this is, there's a lot here, and I don't really see it. So what we're going to be looking for, and this is a problem of your bullet points, is you're not explaining enough. So especially for something that is going to be more qualification based, which I believe this is, we're going to need more. So what I like to see is built a blank, like e-commerce, whatever. Marketplace is good, but I want a little more for X and Y, where I, let's say, researched X and Y, did customer analysis, competitor analysis, I did framing, extra, onboarding, whatever. So this is solid because you have two, which is marketplace and onboarded, but I still don't really know what you did. And it's very possible that the recruiter may not know your industry. And the reason for that is typically for each company, a recruiter will handle approximately 35 to 50 open positions a month. And as an example for that, I once handled oligonucleotide scientists, software engineers, it was brain scientists, project managers, product managers, sales, and a bunch of other stuff. So you cannot expect your recruiter to be knowledgeable in the industry. And this is why this is a little bit, I think the word is like anemic. It needs more. I do like marketplace. I do like experts, and I do like onboarding. But I want to know, like, look, I don't know what a sustainability marketplace is. You got to tell me. Consulted growth. This is fine growth. Pivoted a traditional offline agri company product scale monthly. So again, like I did find a couple, right? I did find marketplace. I did find growth. I did find onboarded, but I'm not sure I'm really seeing how you explain complex topics. I don't know if there's cross-functional. Let me look. There it is, cross-functional. Okay, all the way down there. That's fine. Also, don't do these double bullet points. Just make them into one. Formatting wise, you can have a sentence be like up to 3 lines. That's fine. Let's see. Generating. See, here's the thing. I think this might work. I think there's definitely things that recruiters could move you forward with, but I need to know more. I need to know more. I need to know more of the keywords. I need to know more of what you do and why you did it. And there are too many percentages. It can be hard to read. I need you to base this based on the fact that, like, write your resume like you are giving a speech at a kindergarten explaining what you do. So I think this could pass because it has a couple. And admittedly, I'm not an expert in this type of field, but I feel like there's not enough. And your formatting is close, but it's still a little hard to read. So please just use my formatting. Yeah, and that's what I go with. So I think I could move forward with this, but I want you to have a better chance, and I think there's more we can do. So let's move to the next resume. All right, I'm going to use the restroom during the ad break. Recruiter says that works. I don't know if it helped, but felt it did. On my resume, put the industry B2B after my company name because they're not well known. I like that. Why are my ads doing that? Anyone do that? All right. Okay, I think we're back. Clem said, I don't know if it helped, but felt it did. On my resume, I put the industry B2B SaaS after company name. Preferably, I'd prefer that in the summary, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. Is don't expect, because, like, look at this one. I've heard of Emeritus, but I don't know how important these are. So you do have to explain why they're important. But I am with you. Is the more clarity, which is why you put B2B SaaS, the better. You mentioned on intern's resume they look for taking feedback and criticism, but how can we do this in a way that doesn't look bad? More specifically, how do we say I failed and took criticism without sounding bad or incompetent? Okay, so this actually will prepare you for other interview questions as well. They're not looking for you to say I screwed up and I was bad and they told me no. What they're looking for is you could say something like, recruiting internships don't really exist, so I'm going to say that. But as an example, it would be, as a recruitment intern, I sourced 20 people a week and went to a weekly one-on-one with my manager to where they critiqued my work and offered ways to improve, where I would then improve for the following week. So that is how you can say it. Like, they're not looking to say that, like, your manager said, you suck, fire. Why did you suck so bad? Stop sucking. They're looking for you to say, weekly, I had feedback. I got feedback. I learned how to improve based on that feedback. That's how to do it. Also, remember, you are an intern. You're there to learn. You're not expected to be a superstar. Does that make sense, Fire? I hope it does. Also, 20 people a week is not a ton in a sourcing environment if you're actually sourcing. So, although that it really would depend on the market. I guess if you're doing like high end C-level suits, you would definitely have maybe 20. So, but volume wise, it matters, which is also why Indeed and LinkedIn charge the heck out of those. Like, I want to be clear, whenever y'all get a message from a recruiter, that costs that company money. So for like Indeed, you get 30 reach outs a month for $120. And for their 100 reach outs a month, it costs $400. So those reach outs are expensive. I think if you accept or decline or respond, it actually does go back, but those are expensive. And especially now as my own company, I'm like, these cost a lot more money than I thought. Okay. Is this a real number? Did they really put their number? Hold on. I can't tell if this is actually the real number or not. Because they like, I can't tell if this is a fake one or if they just were like, yeah, no, I don't care. So let me remove that down here so nobody can see it. And there we go. Okay. Because like everything else was redacted. I don't know if that number was or not. Okay, this is a junior software engineer. Okay. And they are saying, I spent November applying to full-time with my undergrad interest, heard back from nothing. They landed contract work return offer to applying jobs as of Jan 10. I should have taken a break, but I did now worried about not hearing back. I don't know if that break matters. Let me look at that beforehand. Intern. It's not great, but in the resume header, how should we go about listing locations? Some jobs roles are different city states than mine, so I should list locations on my resume to match the job. Yes, you do. So this is something that fills me out. I mean, like, yeah, because even a candidate that's willing to relocate, it's kind of a nightmare. Also, my God, I need to shave my beard. Nothing like looking in front of a camera to realize you failed at shaving a beard. I would put it in the area, primarily if you're looking to move. But if it isn't in the area, what you can do is have a very quick summary where it's like, currently in X, but going to be moving to Y in Z. So that's where you can put that. But ideally, yes, it should be in the right location. They may not necessarily reject you, but there's a lot of cases where, like, I'm recruiting for a role in Texas and I'll see somebody in New York apply, and I'm like, the manager will decline it. But if they say moving to Texas regardless, then that's like, okay, that makes sense. Because, again, the location does matter. But truthfully, as long as you're in the right state or close to the state, because some of the northeast states in the United States are very close together, and being in one state means you can work in another one. So, but yeah, if they see, like, again, like if I'm in California, if somebody applied for an on-site role in California and they put New York on their resume, I may reject that because the manager's like, well, they're not Y, like they can't do it. So, all right, this is the story of a girl. Dun, 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 dun. All right, why is that in my head? Okay, and begin. This is a resume of a junior software engineer. We do not know their ratio, but they said they spent 2023 to June 2024 applying while they finished up their internship. Then they landed contract work, and now they're back to applying. They say they shouldn't have taken a break, but they're worried about hearing back. I don't know if the break's a huge deal, but I assume you're looking to find your first role. So if you're looking to find your first role after college, I would not necessarily put junior, because some people's entry-level software engineers are just titled software engineer. And a junior position could be titled Software Engineer 1, it could be titled Junior, it could be titled Associate. So I wouldn't worry too much about the junior part. But what I am going to be looking for is that you show me the tech stack immediately. So, I don't like skills sections, not a huge fan. Also, so here's probably part of the issue is this says IT analyst and you've only been here for like 2 months. I need this to show that this is a short-term contract, or alternatively, this is an internship, because this looks like you were there for 2 months and got fired or quit, which is going to be a red flag. If either of those cases are not true and you don't know how to do that, I would also consider just deleting this from your resume. Plus, this says IT analyst, not software developer. Same with this, intelligence automation intern doesn't mean anything. I don't know what an intelligence automation intern is. If I'm looking for a software engineer, I could potentially move you forward because I know what I'm looking for, but there are recruiters who will see this, that your first 2 positions say IT analyst and intelligence automation intern, to be like, well, they're not a software engineer, decline. So, plus the keywords, yeah, none of these keywords are what I'd be looking for in a software developer. .NET is fine. Bot performance, API, C#, Python scripts, contribute full SDLC. These are actually okay software keywords. Azure, yeah, these are fine. I actually like these keywords, but you bolded them, and here's why I don't like bolding. Also, I hope nobody heard that. My dog is licking their lips while staring at me because he thinks he's getting a treat, but he's not. But yeah, I don't bold these, right? Because you bolded UiPath and ServiceNow and Visio, which is not what I'm going to be looking for a software engineer. Absolutely not. And then here you did UiPath again, and 2,000 hours, and VB, and SharePoint, and Power BI, which Power BI is not going to be necessarily useful for a software engineer. It could be for a data analyst or a data scientist, and ServiceNow. So stop bolding everything. You've actually made it harder, because I will potentially miss Azure and Agile because of how you bolded this. I also don't see any SQL. And here's why you're not getting anything is this does not read like a software engineer until you get to here. So your bullet points are not good. Then develop data parsing using VB. Again, don't bold VB. I don't care about VB for a software engineer. To transform raw SQL data. SQL is fine. That is good. Simplified collaborative environment. Yeah, your bullet points are not good. These are phenomenal, but you need them in the bullet points or they don't count. Same with this. So your bullet points are bad, your formatting is hurting it, and the market is tough, and it doesn't read like a software engineer. Again, they may not know an IT analyst is a intelligence automation engineer. So, to summarize, your bolding is bad and hurting your thing. The formatting is not helping. Your first job reads like you got fired after 2 months, or quit after 2 months, which is a giant red flag. Your second job and your first job both do not read that a software engineer. The bullet points of this one does, but this does not say software engineer. This does not say software engineer. Third, your keywords are okay, but your sentence structure is wrong. As you should know by now watching my videos, I'm not trying to be mean, but I need to see the why, the how, and the what in the same sentence, and in particular, what you did and how you did it. But this does not read like a software engineer, especially to somebody who's non-technical, which is, again, who's going to be reviewing your resume. And you can argue about why that's good or bad in the comments, which is not great, but that's just how companies work, is the person reviewing your resume is not going to be necessarily technical or knowledgeable about it. So, but yeah, your keywords here are correct. So those are the things you need to change, and they will help. I honestly don't think the gap is an issue. This is a bigger issue. Because, look, a gap is not as big an issue as people think. Typically, if your gap is over 2 years, it's an issue. But, missing a couple of months in this market, yes, you will get some managers that are very particular about it, but the vast majority will be like, yeah, the market's bad. It's understandable. So I don't think I could move forward with this resume. If I did, I'm pretty sure the manager would reject it. But, yeah, I don't think I can move forward with this. So let's move on to the next resume. Let's see. So is it worth it putting location on the resume? Yeah, because they want to know that you're in the location. Like, if you are applying to a place near you, you should put your location in. Because even if like, here's why. Let's say they see a bunch of resumes that could work, but they didn't have the location. They may be willing to lower some of the requirements because they know for sure that you are in the location they are at. So the location is very useful for on-site roles. Uh, 65 too. Remember, your goal with your resume is to make it as easy to understand as possible and to show why you meet the qualifications, and location is a qualification. Like, if I'm recruiting for nurses in, Texas, if someone puts in and say they have they're in Ohio, I don't know if I can submit that. So location matters. Hi, Bear. Yes, you're a good boy. Location does matter for, that kind of thing. Also, Bear is being very cute right now. He's just staring at me. Let's see if I can show it. He's just looking at me while I pet him. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes. Okay, you're kind of rolling outside of where I can pet you, sir. Good boy. Yes, okay. So, location is a thing, right? Like a requirement. So your job in your resume is to show your requirements, and location, education, all that stuff is a requirement. So it is worth it to put the location if you were near it. I mean, if you're applying for only remote roles, then it's not necessarily, but some remote roles are only in a certain state. So what the hell are we doing next? Network administrator. Do I have that saved? I don't think I have that saved. Y'all are making me work for these. Yeah, I don't have that saved. Okay, just make sure. Okay. No major updates on my phone. That is good. Let's see. This is gone. This is gone. And this person... Okay. Oh gosh. Service desk analyst? Let's see. Because, yeah, I'm not a fan of lying on the resume, but, I don't consider job titles lying on the resume. Like, if you were a software engineer and you said you're the CEO, that's lying. But if you... internal title was technical developer 2 and you just said software engineer Python, that's not lying. That's actually showing more of the truth. Let's see. If I'm willing to relocate to multiple different states, should each resume contain a different location? Yeah, it should. I mean, the biggest issue, and I think you may find into, is a lot of places are going to do on-site interviews, and if you're in New York and you show, if you apply to a place in California, they are going to expect you to go there, and I don't think they're going to pay for it. So there is an issue with that, in that you may not be able to directly go to the on-site interview. Because if a company is willing to pay for you to go to an interview, they do. I've seen some companies do that. I've been a part of that. But typically the manager is expecting that from the get-go. So they may not do that if you apply from, if you're actually in New York, you're going to have to get there on your own dime. And that's a risky endeavor. So. Prepare document. This is a not good job description. Not all job descriptions are equal. HIPAA, SQL. Okay. I actually think I'm remembering this from the last time I did this. Especially these are keyword heavy. Yeah, I do know in the comments of my YouTube channel, everybody is always upset when I say, don't assume your recruiter knows your industry. They're like, that recruiter should be fired. And it's like, that's how it works. I wish every recruiter could know their industry, but it's not necessarily always possible. Which is also why I say that, like, knowing the industry as a recruiter is extra credit, because just knowing the industry does not necessarily translate into hiring. HIPAA may be specific. That may be like brain. That may be very specific to the industry, which I assume this is a hospital, because HIPAA is, yeah, senior living. It's close enough. Junior network administrator. Oh my god, this is a nightmare. LAN WAN. All right, LAN WAN. I remember LAN WAN. I had to search for this once. I like saying LAN WAN. It's just a funny word. Firewall, routers, switches, routers. Part of the team. Network administrator for Loyola. It's a college. I feel like I used to live in Illinois and I heard a lot of stuff for Loyola. So, okay, degree could be IT plans. Oh my god. All right, let's do IT large scale. And is that all? Is there? Will this fit on the screen? Okay, I can get one more. Let's see. So I actually have a question for people that have moved states before. So I just generally find this interesting, is the differences between the states or countries. So like if you've moved to the US or you moved to a different state, what did you find the biggest culture shock? Because there was like a huge difference for me even in driving in California versus driving in Illinois. And sort of the culture along with Mississippi when I used to live there for a bit, that kind of thing. So, okay, there. I see you. I see you looking at me. Yes, you get pets, but I do other stuff too. I cannot spend the whole stream petting you. Okay, you hear the dogs barking outside. You do not bark with them. You are a good boy. You be quiet while streaming, because you have a very big bark. You big borf. You big borf dog. Yeah, I don't know. I always find cultural differences and stuff really cool. So if you have any stories of like the biggest cultural differences in states or the United States, I would be interested in hearing about it. Because it's just how people interact, basically, even in Mississippi. Because in California, like, you do your stuff, maybe you network, which is a huge thing in California. But you, like, if you go to your grocery store, you hand them the cash and you leave. In Mississippi, if you hand them the cash, you then learn their entire backstory, and it'll take like 20 minutes, even if there's a line for them to tell you what they do and who they are and that kind of thing. So, which was very different to me. VOP, Windows, Linux. Okay, I think this is the correct keywords. This should be Linux, Windows, maybe virtualization. Okay, that's good. This person did not give me anything. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We're good. Oh, shoot, wrong button. No, wrong button. I'm not being RB. I am here. That was the button I meant to hit. I have too many buttons. Too many buttons. This is still, using OBS is still better than using a lot of the ATSs I've used. A lot of the UI of ATSs are very bad. They were not designed with a recruiter in mind. Specifically the ATS HRIS combos. Or HRMS. I don't remember the acronym. Like, so many recruiting problems are probably just misclicks. So... we have a network administrator role. They did not give me anything other than their ratio, which is 1 to 75, which is not great. So what we're going to be looking for is a heck of a lot. This is going to be very keyword based. Network Plus, CompTI, Cisco, Certified Network Associate, CCNA, Cisco, blah, 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 I cannot pronounce that. Ubiquity, IT, Large Scale, TCP, IP, DNS, DHCP, VLAN, SQL, maybe HIPAA. This is probably specific to the industry. LAN WAN, which I like saying. I've recruited for LAN WAN before. I like saying LAN WAN. LAN WAN sounds fun. Switches, firewalls, routers, VoIP, PBX, Linux, Windows, virtualization. You do not need all of these, but I do expect to see a bunch of them. So, highly motivated individual with over 3 years in IT and understanding networking protocols, vigorous approach to many project, looking for a company. This does not matter. You can completely delete this. So this just goes for everybody. Also, I do not know. My dog Bear is chewing loudly on a toy, so I apologize if people can hear that. But yeah, summaries are not usually needed. And if you say something like highly motivated, willing to learn, that does not help. Those should not be on your resume. It is going to be assumed that you are going to do those unless you specifically say it. So it's kind of like going to the doctors and the doctor goes to you and says, hey Lee, I just want to say that I'm willing to learn. And you're like, I don't know. I don't want my doctor to say that to me. That's terrifying. If they don't know what's wrong with me, willing to learn can be good, but I'm going to assume they kept up to date. So service desk analyst, provide technical support for over 20 senior communities. Okay, having working knowledge with many different network structures. Primary technician for senior on-site first response to incident projects. Manage time in a busy. Okay, I only really see networks here. Also, a lot of these wanted your education and certifications. Your education and certification should be where the summary is. Those are very important, especially for administrators in cyber. So, contributed heavily to department goal to document every process, documenting over 25 processes, being able to refer to the documentation to colleagues. Okay, again, so here's my issue is I've gone like all the way here, and I think I've only seen one thing I want. Now this, mentee to the core network team, providing troubleshooting and configuration support for Cisco, Merrick, VPN, VOPI, and physical IDF support is a perfect. This is how I want you to write the rest of them. This is actually a phenomenal bullet point, and this alone and your certs, which I just realized are down here for some reason, are probably the reasons you're getting interviews. And the reason you have a 75-1 is recruiters are reading all of this and they're like, okay, they don't have what we need, because this says desktop support analyst and service desk analyst, not system administrator. So they probably go all the way here, see these two titles are not what they're looking for, and say, okay, reject. But this is a phenomenal bullet point. I want the rest of it to be like this. I need this stuff here in your bullet points, written like this. Yeah, this, again, basically, so this is your only good bullet point. I will say this is okay, because technical support along with on-site first response tickets, this is also important right here, but you need basically combine this with this and then write more keywords in, and you're going to get a lot more stuff. Your formatting is hurting you because your education inserts are at the bottom. This should be up top, and you're not having a lot of the keywords, except for this. This is a fantastic bullet point. I want you to write the rest of your resume like this. I probably could move you forward because of just this sentence alone. And I think the reason, like I said, you're having issues is they don't think you're an actual network administrator because of all this until they get to here. So please fix that, fix the formatting, fix the bullet points. If possible, change the title. I don't know if this is actually service desk versus network administrative. It kind of actually seems like it. So yeah, this is why you're having issues. We need better bullet points. We need it to make more sense. And your summary is not helping, and your education and certs needs to be up top in 3 lines max. Let's move on to the next resume. Okay. Oh, I hope that saved. Okay, good. It did. But yeah, that was actually like, I feel like every time I see somebody have a ratio like that, in my head, I'm like, they probably have one really good bullet point that is specifically helping them if a recruiter gets that far. So, and in this case, it's that one. 63. 63, 5. I think I submitted something on the 17th, but could have done it wrong. I sent something in my resume, but you got these. For fine, you can skip this one instead. If you've already reviewed mine, feel description, want to give others a turn, that's fine. They're in the queue. I'll do it. As long as you're in the queue, I will do it. How long does it typically take you to get to these submitted resumes? On stream, about a week, week and a half. On YouTube, about 3 weeks. Like right now, I have posted videos that were episode 63. Oh no, I should not have gotten rid of that. So, yeah. So right now on Thursday there will be stuff on 63. Right now, I am reviewing stuff that was sent to me on the 23rd of January. So it is about, but right now there are in the queue. Let's see, we're on 84 minus 84. There are 49 resumes in the queue. So it also depends on how viral one of my videos goes. Because if I get like a 2,000 extra views, there's a lot more sometimes. But yeah. That's why it usually takes me about a week and a half. And I get through... How many do I get through in a session? It's really going to depend. But let's see. I did that. We had 63. Started that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go through around 14 in a session, ish. So, but also thank you very much for joining us, Bryce. Welcome to the channel. You can still ask other recruiting questions. Also, what I did want to try to do for a channel point reward, which I didn't put in, is I will do a Boolean search for you. So I'll spend like 5 minutes doing a Boolean search for you. Again, I'm trying to make better rewards for channel points. It's kind of tough because I don't want stuff to like explode on the screen because I feel like that's not the vibe of the channel. But I think like a Boolean would be fine. Like channel point reward for Boolean is I'll actually do a Boolean search for you. So, which is also why I had the channel point reward for bumping up in the queue, is because like it felt weird for me to be like, I can review your resume, but we don't know when. So at least if you have been on the channel before and you've participated, you will have enough channel points to, if you submit a resume, bump you up in the queue so we could do it live. So that's the goal. I'm still basically waffling on what I should and should not do for channel points. Would reaching out to the internal recruiters of a company yourself by Boolean searching on a company link be a good idea or a bad impression? I don't know if it'll help. So after you apply to the role, give it a day or two and then reach out for feedback. But typically 2 or 3 days after you apply is fine to message the recruiter saying, hey, X, I applied for you, and then give the role number that of just wondering if there's any feedback or something. But if you apply through the ATS, the internal recruiter will see it. Bryce said, I saw your review reminder made updates. Okay, cool. Yeah. So when to look back. Yeah, it'll be a little bit. It also depends on how long I can stream for, because I have the constitution of a sickly goldfish. So sometimes I'm not able to get through a lot. What are we doing? We are doing a resume. Yes, Lee, that is obvious. Let's see. This is 65-4. The hell is this? All right. The one time I need more bolding. Oh, no. It's kind of funny. All right. They are a ML engineer or data scientist. Those are different keywords. Slightly different keywords. We're going for ML engineer because those are going to be different. I do need to meet the keyword section larger. I see this is hard to see. Because I do get that this, like, the most important part is arguably this, but it's kind of hard to see. So I think maybe if I have time this weekend, I'm going to change the formatting a little bit so that it's easier to see. Maybe put it under the resume again, but it does need to be easier to see because like the keywords and qualifications are incredibly important to the actual thing. So maybe I put it up top. I'm not sure. I need to figure out where to put it. Let's see, AI engineer. Also, we're having an ad in a couple of seconds, so I'm going to go to the restroom break again because I have a very small bladder, unfortunately. Maybe TMI, but I've been made fun of it before. So, and then I'll do this afterwards. Okay, this is AI. But yeah, remember, Bryce, you can ask any other question you want, even if it's not your resume currently. So let me go to the restroom and I will be right back. Actually, I think Bear needs to go too. So come on, Bear. We'll be right back in like 3-4 minutes. Let's go. You need to go to the restroom, sir. Come on. Let's go. This way. Hi. Yeah, hi. Oh, that other dog is barking. Maybe we shouldn't take you out. Come on, Bear. Good boy. All right, we're back. Okay. All right, I already got this. What is the ratio? Okay. Hi, Bear. What are you doing? Don't. Why are you there? Okay. Hi. Yeah, I got another resume to review, sir. Hello. This is not your usual spot. Yeah. It's not your usual spot. Alright. That's good. I can just do this. Let me refresh the keywords for myself. SQL. Yeah, okay. I think SQL may be one as well. Okay, sir, can you leave me alone for a second? Yeah. Okay. That's good. And we begin with the beginning that begins. This is a resume of an ML/AI engineer. They also wanted to know if they worked for data science. Oh, sorry. Let me double check that if it was data science. Yeah, or data scientist. Those are different keywords. So these are the keywords for an ML engineer, which is just anything AI, ML, LLM, NLOP, Python, R, MATLAB, LangChain, Scikit-learn. I hate that word. Cloud, TensorFlow, PyTorch, CLD, CDLC, CICD, DevOps, Hadoop, Spark, or Kafka. While a data scientist, which I think I have saved is going to be slightly different. Primarily, they're going to want a little more Python or R. They're going to want SQL. They're going to want data visualization tools like Spark, Tableau, and explaining complex topics to non-technical stakeholders. So there is a difference between the two, and I'm going to primarily focus on AI, but just make sure that when you submit this to jobs, you have a resume for each, because again, they are different qualifications and how they view it. Bear, you have been very needy today. He's under my desk trying to bug me. I don't know if anybody's had a 100-pound dog try to crawl into your lap, but he is trying to do that right now. So, this person has a ratio of 75-1, which is not great, but let's see if we can't, improve it. So, man, again, this is a few times. Education should be bolded. There is actually, shockingly, not enough bolding in this. So, education should be bolded. Then you should have work experience, which should be bolded, and then leave these the way they are. And then leave this the way they are. Yeah, so there should, weirdly enough, be a little bit more bolding. It's not a huge issue, but it helps with readability, especially when something is very keyword-based, like ML AI. So, this should probably be one sentence as well. Led a team of 5 in developing a supervised learning model using Python Lite GBM to predict patient discharge, enabling order coordination. Okay, so this is gonna make people in the comments mad. I want you to say a supervised learning model and then tell me if it was AI, ML, LLM, or NLP. I need right away that you show me which type of learning model this is, which I guess LM would be it, but that's not necessarily large language model because the recruiter may not know that. So actually put which one it is. Was it AI, ML, LLM, NLP? Which I assume it was ML, but don't rely on the person knowing the industry. Explored PyTorch neural networks, but opted for Lite GBM for sheer... I have no idea how to pronounce that. And cost... implemented ETL pipelines using SQL. SQL is a key for data science, but not necessarily for ML AI. MSSQL pandas, NumPy for data cleaning and feature loading. Azure is fine. Tune hyperparameters, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. This one's good. Get CI/CD for development, cross-functional teams. Okay, so here's my main issue with this is you were trying to make both an ML and a data science resume, and I can tell, but they don't have the same importance of keywords. So I would like you to split this into 2 resumes. One focuses on ML AI, which again, the keywords are there up top, right above here, and the other that is going to be focused on data scientist, which I'm going to show right here. So this is the data scientist stuff, which, again, there's a lot of overlap, but there's enough not of overlap that you need to split it into 2. So the NumPy is fine, the pandas are fine, but SQL is not going to be as important to an AI engineer, along with complex topics to non-technical stakeholders, along with possibly Python itself. So that is the difference between the 2. Well, Python is, so I was wrong about it. Python's in both, but along with modeling, hypothesis testing, and experimental design. So remember, those are different qualifications. And I think this resume is trying to do both. So fix the formatting, which is really not going to take you more than 5 minutes, and split this into 2 resumes, one with an ML/AI focus, one with a data science focus. And I think you're going to get a lot more interviews. I would say that alone would probably move it to at least 50-1, maybe 40-1. So yeah, and also you have a very high focus on Lite GBM, which I don't know how important that keyword is. Hold on a second. I don't want to dox anybody on this, so I'm going to check LinkedIn real quick. So in the past week alone, there's actually an okay amount, but most of them, so there are 681 job postings with specifically Lite GBM, but most of them are not AI ML engineers or data scientists. They were like traders and stuff. So I don't think this is a crazy important keyword. I think it's okay to have, but you put it in almost everything when I'd really like to know more about the AI ML, LLM, NLP, LangChain, MATLAB, SideTorch, that kind of thing. I hate IT terms. I will never like IT terms. Those are nightmares to say, and they mean nothing. So, but yeah, overall, I can see how you're getting interviews, but a couple of those tweaks you should get a much better chance, and your ratio should improve. Let's move on to the final resume of this video. Okay, Bear, why are you so needy? Sir, come here. Come here. I am doing something. I am doing something right now, okay? This is what I am doing. Your floppy head, I cannot always pet, okay? I know, you're a very good boy, but I cannot spend all this time petting you. So, okay, that is my foot. You are sitting on my foot. You are 100 pounds. You are not a chihuahua. I cannot turn while you sit on my foot. Okay. Dog, I love you. I love you, Bear. But you are kind of being a hassle right now. Why are you so needy? Alright, this is uncomfortable to pet a dog while also doing this way. But Bear will not let me move. This is... What ratio is this? What ratio? That's not how the word works. What video? This is 65:4. Okay. You normally leave me alone while I stream, Bear. You're very needy today. I've been giving you pets and attention, okay? Just give me a little bit, all right? We've got like another hour or so, and then you're going to get a lot more attention. Don't look at me with those puppy dog eyes. Bear's like, you know my expectations. Yeah, he's just staring at me. He's doing this. Look at this. He's just staring at me. Right? This. The whole time. Bear. Oh, now you look away when I show it? You brat. I love him. He's a good old man. Yes. Okay, now you're looking when I don't show it. Trying to gaslight me. You're not supposed to gaslight me. Software engineer, cybersec intern. Oh no. I don't know enough about cybersecurity. That's gonna matter quite a bit. So those are different types of positions. Do I have a cybersecurity keywords on business? I don't. Yeah. Depending on what counts as a first interview, my ratio is either 1 to 33 applications per interview or 3 if discarding those. Oh god, this is a phenomenal one. Okay, this person I think has a really good ratio. I cannot tell. Okay, can people like tell me what this means? Because they sent this. Which that sort of implies they're getting an interview every like other application. No. Oh, shoot. I downloaded the wrong thing. Okay. Close. Is that what it is? This may be a cybersecurity thing. Also, this does look like it is outside the US. Which may also cause an issue. Yeah, if somebody in chat can make sense, because I think that's 1 per 3. Kitchen assistant in catering to modified diet. I don't understand this one at all. Seems like 3 apps per interview. Yeah, and they're using this. I don't... Look, this is why I say there's never necessarily one way to do anything. But this also, I think, is not in the United States. And I don't know how to read this. This is, I don't know. I don't know at all. Yeah, I have no idea. all right, we're gonna go. This may be a case of somebody walked into the best formatting ever by mistake, or they're telling me the wrong thing, but I have no earthly idea of how to read this. So let me do this video because this is confusing me. Okay. This is a resume of a software engineer / cybersecurity person looking for an internship. And I don't understand this resume. They told me they got a 1-to-3 application ratio, which is one of the best I've ever seen. And I don't understand this. So if you are truly getting 1 interview per 3 applications, don't change anything. That's fantastic. That is amazing. But I don't know how to read this resume. I am fairly certain that this person is outside of the United States, and outside of the United States recruiting is different. And this would not work in the United States, but I don't know where you're located, and I don't know where that one is, because you have this giant section, the formatting would be off. Then you have this, which is your projects, which is fine, but the bullet points don't really tell me enough. Although admittedly, I will say I don't know enough about cybersecurity, so maybe these are good in cybersecurity, but they're not good for what we would look up in software engineering. And you have your high school here. This is why I don't think you're in the United States, because I don't know what GCSE is. Can I even look that up real quick? GCSE. Yeah, I don't know where that is from. So, but none of this would make sense to me. So, and then you have your employment, which is like planted trees and harvested crops. You were a chef. And then all at the bottom, you said you're a computer scientist. I have a strong breadth and depth of experience with concepts such as web development, cybersecurity, object-oriented procedural functional programming. You are also an experienced kitchen assistant and chef with a strong background in catering to modified diets and home care. You've been working in the food service industry since you were 15. And then you asked, does anybody read this part? Most people know, but I don't know what to do with this resume. Maybe you figured out the best secret to putting a resume that is beyond me, or this is very location dependent, or alternatively, you were getting basically like field worker positions and not cybersecurity positions. I want you to drop by. I want you to drop by the channel, because I truly do not know how to make sense of this resume. This goes in the face of everything I know, and I don't know enough to know why I'm wrong, or if alternatively I'm not wrong. So I wish I could end this on a better thing to do, but like if you're getting a 1-to-3 ratio, don't change anything. That's fantastic. Anything below 1-to-25 is fantastic. But I don't know how to read this. I don't know if this is situation dependent. I don't know if this is, you've made an error, if I've made an error. This makes me question everything I know. So I am fully baffled. I don't understand how to help with this, or if I should, or if I should learn something, or if this is location dependent. Please come on the channel, because I need to know. I need to know more about you to know why this works and everything it is. So yeah, please go onto my Twitch channel. Right down there is the link. This is the final resume of this video, and I don't know what to do with this one. So thank you all for coming. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome, Dead Lantern. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, I do know you. Can I gigantify that? How's it going, Dead Lantern? So, I'm still streaming. I'm still streaming. I got like another hour in stream. This was just for the video. Don't leave. This was just the ending of the video. I am still streaming. I got about an hour left. So that's here. Okay, cool. I need to specify, because that is not the first time it's happened. But yeah, I don't understand anything about this resume. And again, like, they've gotten scones for coronation. What does that mean? Did they like cook for a king or queen? There's so many questions I have about this, and I don't understand any. I really, really hope they joined the chat. My guess is they are specifically applying for both rural services, or alternatively, in their location, there is not a lot of people with these developmental skills, so they're going to get a lot of interviews. So Yeah, I don't know. This one breaks my brain, and I do not know anything about it. Also, Dead Lantern, how goes it today? I don't think I've rated your stream in a while, but we don't usually have the same streaming hours. So I also know Dead Lantern in real life. We play board games together. But yeah, this is the resume I think above all else that will confuse me the most, and I really, really, really hope they stop by chat, because I truly don't. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Nothing about this makes sense. The world changed. It's like just learning the sky was, I don't know, green or something. So, yeah, I hope they tell me, because I truly do not know, and that confuses the hell out of me. I just don't. Like I said, my guess is that in their area, it is very rare to have anybody with either who's working like chef or field labor or data science type IT, so that it doesn't really matter how necessarily bad the resume is, and that is also normal in the resume format where they're located. But if they said, oh yeah, I've been in the US and I've been getting that for data science, I will be like, I don't understand. I don't know anything. So, but that is what I'm leaning towards as the actual issue. Which isn't an issue, because if you're getting 1 to 20, like 1 to 3 is fantastic. Let's see, that's good. Let's go here. What is this? This is a .NET developer. I don't think I know a .NET developer off the top of my head. I've been getting a lot of .NET developers recently, truthfully. I guess that's a sign that a lot of them are working for work. Typically, it's been a bit since I've seen like a lot of .NET. So let's do past week. I think past week is a good descriptor of it. Okay, .NET developer. Hoffman, benefits, education, relevant work experience. Okay, cool. Combination of obviously .NET, but a lot of these want other stuff too. So .NET is a variation of C#, correct? I think that's the case. Again, I don't know. If you told me something was C or Java, I would not know. Like, I know that the difference between Java and JavaScript, but if you put the two languages next to each other, I would not be able to tell. So. See microservices. Cloud. Yeah, cloud. Let's do cloud. And then let's make this easier to read. There we go. Good afternoon, Goblin Scribe. How goes it? .NET developer. Okay, these are actually, I really do like how this is a solid descriptions for .NET developers. I am exhausted. I got no sleep last night. But that was my fault. I decided to eat a bunch of potato chips while playing Arkham Horror at like midnight. And that was a bad idea, and my stomach was regretting it in the morning. I am too old for that, unfortunately. That's how you know you're old, you're getting older, is when immediately you do something like, yeah, potato chips for bed is fine. Immediate stomach ache that keeps you up all night. So, yeah. And we beat the Scarlet Keys campaign, which I feel about. I think it was an okay mission. Like, sequel. I'm missing sequel here. Scarlet Keys was okay. So, I don't think it's my least favorite of the Arkham campaigns, but it is kind of down there. Blueprint, architectural. So, Arkham Horror, the card game, it's really, really fun. Arkham Horror, the card game, not the board game. I can give a link in chat for it. It's very fun. Card game, yeah, this is it. The intro box. It is a legacy deck builder game, and it is, I think, one of my top 3 favorite board games of all time. So, Spirit Island, this, and I'm trying to remember the third, but there was another one I really liked, and I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's really, really fun. Really, really fun. Really, really good. Really a nightmare, and great. Like, I'm not even huge into, like, Cthulhu and Arkham Horror stuff. It's just, this is a fantastic board game, and I don't think you get it like this type of board game anywhere else. That's kind of my thing, is I haven't seen the way this works ever in anywhere else. So, mechanically, it's just very fun. All right, I think CICD DevOps. I think I'm good with this. I'm going to snooze this ad so I don't have the time to kill. So, what are y'all's favorite board games? I know there's another one. It's Arkham Horror and Spirit Island are like my top 3, and I'm trying to remember the third that I really do like that I cannot remember off the top of my head. Yeah, it's gone. I don't remember it. And Git, maybe Docker. So, does anybody else play board games is actually the question. I am a huge board gamer. Let's see. Git Docker. How important is the title of the degree on the job act? It's crazy important. Something commonly run into with Earth Day is my degree name not being listed. Yeah, it's crazy important to have the right title. Very important, which is why I think it's okay to change the title as long as you've actually done that. Like, if I change my title from recruiter to software developer, that is a bold-faced lie. But changing my title from talent advisor or talent acquisition to recruiter would be fine, because that is the common vernacular of the job. So, all right, let me snooze this ad. I don't want people to get an ad yet. So, all right. Yeah, I agree with you, Goblin Scribe. That is why I said, like, I guess top 3 favorite board games. So that's why I say it's in the top 3, because it goes back and forth. But I really like legacy games. Let's see. Software developer, that's good. What did they say? Latin America area. Okay. I don't know what that means. Enough. I don't know where Latin America is. That south of the United States? Is that... I don't know where that is below in South America. All right, well, let's do it. This is the first one of this video series. Okay. We are reviewing a... That's not right. That's from the last video. We are reviewing a Junior.net developer. This is the actual title, which is Junior.net developer. So what they're going to be looking for is not necessarily all of these, but a good majority of these. So .net, anything .net. There's a lot of stuff that's .net. You kind of want to plaster a bunch of .net on everything. C#, Blazor, actually only saw that 1 or 2, so it's okay. Microservices, JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS. I don't know why I have that twice. CSS. Then preprocessors, microservices. Again, I wrote that. I did not write this well. Anything with Microsoft. React, Angular, VU, SQL, Architectural, Agile, DevOps, CI/CD, Git, and Docker. Those are going to be what we're looking for. So if you like these types of videos, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This person, it really does help me out. I don't understand the algorithm, but any comments help. So this person says they're in the Latin America area. I don't know how to judge that based on this resume. I've not recruited down there, but they have a ratio of 100 to 1, which is not good. So that's 100 applications per interview. Not very good at all. So let's see if we can find this stuff. Education. Again, this can be one line. This should be one line. This should not all be bolded. Also, this is not... skills sections are not great. You need them in the bullet points. Teaching assistant. Collaborated with professor, subject taking the role of mentor. Okay, this is not written correctly. Teaching assistant is fine, but you need to show that this is like a software developer teaching assistant, right? Because otherwise this just reads... So here's why. They're going to look at all this, and they're going to say, okay, they're a teaching assistant. Okay, they're just learning. They don't have any experience. They're going to toss your resume. So your formatting is off. This needs more bullet points where you say you helped teach SQL queries, advanced object-oriented programming, that kind of stuff. And then you need to list this stuff. Projects with solid principles. Okay, desktop, open source, administrative. Again, yeah, your bullet points are not bad. Honestly, I think you need to redo almost all this resume. There's just not a ton here. Like, it takes me all the way here before okay, this is, I don't know why it's formatting like that. Until I go to here, where I see a single .NET. The .NET needs to be plastered. I see C#, .NET, which is good, and SQL. That is the only keywords I have actually found if I go all the way here. Well, there is a SQL here. So yeah, your about me doesn't matter. You need more bullet points. You need to show that you're actually this type of developer. I need .NET. I need Agile. I need DevOps. I need CI/CD. I need more SQL. I need Git. I need Docker. I need TypeScript. I need HTML, CSS, Microsoft, anything else. But I don't see this here. So this does not read like a .NET developer. This doesn't read like much of any developer. To a recruiter, obviously, if you were tech savvy, you would be like, oh yeah, clearly this person X and Y, but that's not the person reviewing your resume, unfortunately. So I would completely redo this resume, look at maybe some of the other videos I've shown about how to format it, or come on the channel. But yeah, this isn't going to work. There's just not enough info here. A recruiter's going to see this, not see it anywhere here, and they're going to decline you. And I'm assuming that's the same in Latin America. Again, I have not recruited in Latin America. Maybe it's different there, but that's all I can really do for this because I don't really see much anything I need. So yeah, we have to move on to the next resume. Okay. Love, I haven't played any in my adulthood, just never had a friend group. That is the hardest boss, is getting a friend group to do it. Exploding Kittens and Munchkin, yep, those are good games. Any tips for approaching someone in a career fair? I have a used a career fair and have researched the companies. That's tough because I don't know. I've never done a career fair, right? I've always wanted to, but I've never gotten to, so I don't know enough about the career fair in you. I wish I did, but I don't. So I don't know enough about that topic to really help. I think if you just say, hey, I've researched the company X and Y, and just start a conversation with them, like, you know, what do you guys like normally look for? What do you want in a resume? Like, what's it, work-life balance, that kind of thing. Just intro questions to get more knowledge about it. Beast Ostrich. Yes, submit the resume using the link below. That is correct. Right now, again, there is a line, but I do have a thing where it can bump people up in the line. But yeah, that's where you submit it, just below. Right now, there are like 30 resumes ahead. So, and I get through about 14 a stream, give or take. Again, it really does depend on how well I feel in time situations. So, thanks. I thought the same. Gotta leave the intro for me behind. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you gotta start talking to people. I don't know how useful it is at career fairs. I really wish I did. So, that is something I wish I have done. Like, I feel like I'm pretty cursed in career fairs because, like, right when we're about to have one, the company goes through layoffs and they cancel it. Like, I've had 2 or 3 canceled career fairs in my thing that I'm like, and I wanted to do it not because I think I necessarily enjoy it, but because I need to have it under my belt, because I think it's important for a recruiter to know every aspect of the industry. And I've never gotten to because there's layoffs happen and then the career fair gets canceled every single time. I have volunteered to do it. I think I am cursed in that if I ever accept a career fair, everybody else in that company needs to look for a job. So, yeah. I wish I could tell you. Web developer. Web developer is front end, right? That's the next one, is a web developer. Let's see. Web developer, I think, is front end. HTML, CSS, yeah, that's front end. Board game wise, again, like Goblin Scribe and Love, if you could ever find it, although these are kind of heavy board games, Arkham Horror is like one of the best card games I've ever played, and Spirit Island is also amazing. I love it. They actually have a intro Spirit Island like beginner box that I would recommend that teaches you the game. I think it was at Target in the US. I don't know where it is outside, but I love Spirit Island. Web developer, yeah, or front end dev. This is, I actually know what that is, so we're gonna do that one. Twitch, brain. What is the keywords and qualifications for a front end dev? I think I need to add like React and stuff to this. React and Vue. So React, Vue, and maybe Next, which I think is Next.js. RESTful, yeah, those are I'm adding to this list. Let's see. I will start this after, okay, after the ad, which is going to happen in whenever. It always gaslights me. I never know when it's going to do it. And then I'll answer the rest of these questions because I know I'm going to get cut off with an ad. Absolutely no, I am. Post a job. Let's see how my... Yeah, I need to improve the message. Let's see that. How many messages do I have? Oh, that did not format well at all. Gross. Ugh. Okay. Curriculum Vita. This is 52. Software dev. AI trainer. What? Wait, what? They said front end. Okay. Web dev. Okay, that's weird. Where is that song from? I'm trying to remember. All right. And we're back. Okay. I've heard of Arkham Horror and Spirit Island. Love, you do need to meet more nerdy friends. Typically, I don't know where you live, but in a lot of places there are open board game groups where you can go and play a bunch of games. Spirit Island, where you try to escape a flooding island. You are thinking of a different game. So Spirit Island, let me show you the beginner box because I think it's great. And then I'll go back to this resume. I know this is probably not what half the people here for, but it's my stream and I can do what I want. And then I'm going to go back to the resumes. Spirit Island, where is it? Horizons of Spirit Island. Yes, this one, I think. Horizons, that's what it's called. And yes, you can actually play it on Tabletop Sim. That is where I play Arkham in that. So it is called, the one you want for Spirit Island, which is very fun, is this game. Oh, come on, where can you buy? There it is. You can actually buy it on Amazon. Okay, neat. Yeah, it's pretty cheap too. So this is Horizons of Spirit Island. You are actually spirits of an island trying to destroy the people that are colonizing your island. So that is a beginner's box. The actual full game is a lot more. There's like 26 spirits and variable levels of difficulty. But yeah, it's very great. If you have friends outside, you can play it on Tabletop Sim. So highly recommend Spirit Island and Arkham Horror. But Arkham Horror is a heavy game. Heavy. Arkham Horror is a game you sit down for like 3.5 hours. I also would not recommend playing Spirit Island for with more than 3 people. If you play it with like 4 people, it gets kind of clunky. So, all right, this is a But yeah, it's fun. I like it a lot. It's not a legacy game, but it's really fun. Web developer. Okay. This resume is of a web developer, which is also mostly called a front-end dev, so front-end/web developer. What we're going to be looking for is JavaScript, React, Angular, JS, HTML, CSS, PHP, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, WordExpress, Git, Docker, Jira, React, React, Vue, Next, and sometimes extra languages, Cloud, UI, UX, and SASS, which is not SAAS, which I found out during the last video. So this person did not give me anything other than their ratio, so this is a 1:75, which is not great, although it's not great. I think it could be a little bit better. IT, especially front-end devs, are going to have problems searching for a job, so, you know, it's just a tough market. So, identified and corrected discrepancies Cs with 100 plus agent for code. Functional failures, author JSON APIs. Okay, see APIs. Evaluated code samples written in C++, Python, React from 8 distinct models to enhance performance of superior models. This doesn't necessarily read like a front-end dev. I will say this is a fine sentence, but like this is mostly back-end, and this is more full stack. So if you're going for actual web developers positions, this may hurt you because you need to describe this better, that you focus more on the front end, because this does not read like a web developer. This reads more like a full stack. And if they're looking for a like straight up front end dev, they may reject you based on that. So be very careful with this. You have some of the keywords, but this reads really more like full stack. So, wrote an ecosystem of 5 web using WordPress. WordPress actually is a keyword. It's not in a lot, but it's still useful. PHP, which is a keyword. jQuery, that's close enough. Bootstrap, improving your interactions. Creating an admin dashboard with PHP, HTML, CSS. Okay, good. Performance. MySQL, fine. Enhanced user engagement, custom LLS, HTML, JavaScript. Okay, so this is actually pretty solid. I honestly think most of your issues is they read like this, and then they say, "Oh, you're not a front end dev. You're a back end dev or a full stack," and then they reject you. So this might actually be hurting your chances. You need to rewrite these bullet points, but here, this position is actually kind of solid. This alone will get you interviews. And what I would recommend is you have your summary here. Make sure your summary includes JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and SQL, and maybe like RESTful APIs, because this is, where did it go? I know I saw it here. This is actually a problem. I cannot find it again. This is arguably your best sentence here, but it's all the way down here. And it's very possible, especially in an overcrowded market, that a recruiter may not even get to this point. So that is, I think, your kind of true problem, is your order of these bullet points are wrong, and this is sort of having issues. This also, none of this really matters because this is Ruby. Ruby is not as sought after in front-end positions. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's not what I've seen. So, Master of Arts in Philosophy, that's fine. It's not a... If you have a BA, no, because it doesn't look like you started coding till later. Certification. So, yeah, that's sort of my issue with this, is it doesn't fully... It looks like you kind of have 3 different resumes bundled together into one. This reads like full stack. This reads like back end, like front end. And then this reads like back end. And you need to make sure your resume reads like only one of them, which is going to hurt you to, otherwise it's going to hurt you to get a job. This also, again, is your best sentence because it has HTML, CSS, JavaScript, UI, UX, and that's kind of it. So I would redo some of your bullet points and your formatting a little bit, and I think you're going to have a higher success ratio. I want to be clear, it's still a rough market. It is still a tough market, but I think you can lower that 1 to 75 to maybe 1 to 50, 1 to 40 if you make those changes. So let's go to the next resume. All right. Oh, Dead Laner, you got the newest edition of Spirit Island. Also, I'm struggling not to call you by your real name. Might try Spirit Island on the tabletop sim if it's 1 to 3. Yeah, it's really good. Remember, so if you're doing Spirit Island, do the Horizons, because that is the tutorial. It can be a very heavy game if you don't play that. You need to know the rules. 100 plus AI generated code doesn't make any sense. Lines, there's nothing snippets. That's a few weeks. They basically read some code. jQuery is a JavaScript framework. I think I knew that. Just for your reference, it's old and close to vanilla JavaScript. React, Angular, TypeScript isn't close. Okay. See, I didn't know that. And I'm going to assume the recruiter doesn't either. But I did not know that React, Angular are actually closer to TypeScript. That is new. But I guarantee you, Buggy, that the recruiters do not know that. They are going to see, if they don't see those exact keywords, they won't move forward. But yeah, this is weird. It reads like 3 different resumes. I'm also glad you agree with me with that. Too nuanced to expect anyone outside of devs. Yeah. Like, it always makes me feel better when, like, someone else's code is like, no, you're right. That's weird. And I'm like, yes, validation. So, let's see. But yeah, Deadline, I'm struggling not to say your real name every single time. Did you have all the Spirit Islands? That's so good. I never played the newest expansion that much. I wanted to. All right, this one should be easy. We got another full stack. Nope, don't delete that, Lee. That is the wrong button. Nope, also, you screwed up your own formatting. Crud, give me a second. It's 632M 6566. What is this? 62M. Okay, 662. That is what this one is. 662, and then I can actually go to the next full stack resume. My brain, I got no sleep. So 662, 663. This is okay. There we go. All right. Too nuanced to expect anyone outside of devs. Yeah, that is it. That's also why, like, I have problems explaining that particular bugbear to people. I like saying bugbear. It's fun. Is because they're like, well, why don't you do X? And I'm like, okay, that explanation would take like 5 minutes because recruiting is complicated. I know most people do not believe me and they think all you do is click reject, but truthfully, looking through resumes as an internal recruiter is like 20 to 30% of the job. It's not the biggest part of our job at all. Managing the requisitions, overall health, and pipeline, I like to say it's a conveyor belt. This is something I say that other recruiters don't. They say pipeline. I think conveyor belt is better. So managing the hiring conveyor belt of multiple requisitions and the managers and giving feedback to the managers is what takes a lot. It also depends on what your company has given you in benefits, like bonuses and other team members to help you with. So some of them don't have, you have to do all the phone screens. Some of them have people that do phone screens for you. So it is very much a volume issue more than anything else. Okay, that is it, I think. Oh God, this is 150 to 1. Ew, that's not good at all. All right, well, my keywords are there. Did I put full stack? Nope, I still put web developer. Full stack developer, software engineer, full stack. Is there a difference between software engineer and software developer? Technically, does anybody use that? No. Do I know it off the top of my head? Also no. All right, there we go. And we're good. This is a resume of a full stack software developer. They have a terrible ratio, which is 1 to 150. The market is not great for software developers, but still it should not be 1 to 150. So what we're going to be looking for is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. These are going to be the key ones. We want to see that peppered throughout the resume. Node, Angular, SQL. We need to see a lot of SQL. React, API, REST. Cloud is huge, along with Agile and CI/CD. And then if you have any other bonus languages such as Python, C, or Java and Git, or you worked with Git, that is a bonus. So JavaScript, yeah, again, this, okay, where's your degree? If you don't have one, okay, here's probably why. You have a doctor's of physical therapy. I would delete that. Don't let them know that. Don't let them know you graduated in 2010. Just say graduated business risk management insurance and leave the doctorate behind. This would probably show that you are, I don't want to say overqualified, but this could be a red flag to hiring managers, is that you already went a doctorate in 2017 and you're not doing that and you're doing this. So I would remove this from your resume. Keep the education towards the bottom because, again, you don't have a degree in a CS degree, but remove the doctorate. That could be a red flag. So this technologies doesn't help. It needs to be in this. So co-name 300 employee market research from Fortune 100 companies. I don't need to know this. I need to know this in the actual bullet points. So, founded and led the company's first ever software engineering team after earning leadership recognition, hiring, mentoring, developed, or scale initiative solutions across the organization. That doesn't help me. It can be beneficial to know that, but that doesn't have any keywords. It also doesn't show how big the team is, because if the team is just you, it's not as impressive. Led the development of a statistical tool using Python and React. Okay. The app was designed a virtual senior REST API. Okay. Developed a full using Python, React, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and OpenAI. This is solid. This should be your first one. Like, look, I don't know what your team did. This should not be your first one. Yeah, and then I'm looking at this. I don't see any SQL. Let me just Control-C. So, JavaScript, I see twice. That's not good. You need more. CSS, I see once. That's not good. You need more. HTML, once. Need a little bit more. TypeScript. I don't see any TypeScript. Node, no Node. Angular, nope, no Angular. Agile, no Agile. CI, am I going to see CI/CD? No, it doesn't look like I am looking for CI/CD. Okay, is there any cloud that I can see? AWS? No. Azure? No. GCP? No. Did you mention cloud? You did mention cloud. Here, right down here. Too far down. So this is why you're having issues. Is 1, your doctorate. 2, your starting sentence is not what recruiters need. This is an okay third or fourth sentence, but I need to know this. Develop full-scale application using Python, React, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. This is better. Like, if you just put this and then delete this. Also, these are not even the right keywords that I care about. I only see SQL. So this whole thing could be deleted as well. So yeah, I would go straight up into your experience. So, and then if you've done cloud, I need cloud. This is a bullet point issue and a bit of formatting issue, but literally just deleting this, deleting your doctorate, and putting this as your first sentence would probably give you to like a 1:75 ratio alone. So I am missing a bunch of keywords, and I'm missing a bunch of keywords. I don't see any cloud. I don't see any agile. I don't see CI/CD. And you don't have enough TypeScript and JavaScript. I want to see that at least. I want to see TypeScript, JavaScript at least twice in your resume. CSS, HTML once. And Node or Angular along with React and API. Did I see React? React, yes. React is, no, it's not in any of the things, right? Oh, there it is. Okay, good. I did see that. API, yeah. So that one's okay. Yeah, you're missing keywords and your formatting is hurting you. That's why you've had a 150-to-1 ratio. So fix those alone, and you should have a much better chance. In addition, if you are a U.S. citizen and you're applying in New York, put U.S. citizen or green card holder. So it'll be beneficial. That's it for this resume. Let's move on to the next one, which is second to last resume. All right. Is there a particular SQL database that you've seen as the most popular on job descriptions? It's SQL, just SQL. That's it. But I think as long as you have PostSQL or SQL Server, you're fine. But it's literally just the word SQL. That's the one I've most commonly seen. But some people like see other stuff too. So, because we can, and remember, this is how you can check. Is you can go here, and you can check how the most common one. So if we put MySQL, 6,000 results. If we do PostSQL, we do 6,000 results. If we just do SQL, it's going to pick up the others, so that doesn't count. But yeah, just SQL alone is the best, but the others are not going to hurt you as long as they see SQL. So the important thing is you show that you have SQL. Random question. Is it actually a bad thing to put your GPA on your resume if it's been several years since you graduated? Yeah, I don't think it's horrible, but it's also not related, so I think that's why you should leave it off. It's really rare that I see GPA as a requirement unless it's like your first job, because your entire point of the GPA is to get you basically your foot in the door. So there may be some differences, like maybe doctorate positions or heavy research positions. So and you've been a fan of your resume reviews. Yay, thank you. I actually submitted mine back in November, but I might have missed the review. Any chance you could take a look at this week? Okay, so I'm gonna message you privately. Give me a second, Inu. So don't put your email in the whole chat, all right? Here, all right? I just messaged you. Get that. Put in your email there, not in the whole chat. Please do not put it in the whole chat so everybody can see it, but put the email in the private message I just sent you, and I can search via that. I also realized that there is, I think, 2 resume reviews that are in my old laptop when I switched. You know, I need to make a note to do that. Yes, okay, cool. That is the right chat, Inu. I need to make a note real quick. I think I am missing 2, is I switched from my laptop to my computer, and I think I have a couple of resumes saved, reviews that are saved on there. So let me see if I can't do that on Thursday, at least. Put resumes from laptop on YouTube, because I realized there were 2. So, okay, let's see if I can't find this. Let's see if it's here. Yes, you just sent it. If it is in November. Okay, let me check my old version, because I hope yours is not in the 2 that I forgot to do. Resume review. Let's see if it's here. This is probably the old format. Resume reviews old. Yes. Okay, so we have 2. You are in episode 20 and episode 30. So episode 20 and episode 30 are where you're at. All right, and then let me make sure. So yeah, episode 20, episode 30. Those were where you're at. Let's see. Which was a while ago, because we're on episode like 60. Okay, I was hoping my good GPA might give me a boost. Sometimes I apply for academic related. Yeah, I think so. Again, this is going to be position dependent. I think if it's specifically academic, you may want to have that. But yeah, so episode 20 and episode 30 are your reviews. And this is why I ask for people's emails, so I can find them if I forget to do them. So, but yeah, again, I have not done academic recruiting, which is slightly going to be different. But, okay, that was 66.3. Let's see this, 66.3. Okay. Who is the next? We have another intern. Okay. And then a front-end developer. All right. And I think that might be it for the stream. We'll see. So. All right. No worries, Inu. Is it Inu? Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. All right. And then please stick around for the 2 reviews. I want to raid a channel. It is always beneficial to raid a channel. It's like, also it's fun, and there's a lot of cool people doing cool stuff that I can help out. So I've gotten a bunch of viewers from raiding, and I want to make sure that I can return the favor as well. Also, Goblin, I think it also depends on what your GPA was, because like I got a 3.2, which was like solid, but I don't think that's anything I should really put on my resume. Admittedly, that's been like decades ago. So, oh no, it's been a decade ago. Oh no. Oh no. That's horrifying. Okay. All right. This is interns. I do have software engineer interns. What about a 3.5? I think a 3.5 is fine. Yeah, how old are you? I'm turning old. I agree with that. Okay, Inu, cool. I did it right. All right. So let's do this. Take stack. Blah 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 blah. Brain. Yeah. Okay. Basic tech stack. Ability to work well with others. Takes criticism. And is there anything they sent along with this? Okay. I'm in my early 30s, but it's more fun than all of my 20s combined. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like, now that I'm older, I know how to do things better, because I also went to therapy in my late 20s, which really helped out. So, because I'm a very different person before and after therapy. 3.8 is pretty good. Okay, Bear, you cannot shove your way into this. Sir, I am doing a thing. Sir? Hello. I love you. You were in the way. Also, we have an ad in like 4 minutes, so I will do this after. I don't want to do a thing while there's an ad. But yeah, again, any other questions you want to ask a recruiter? That is how you're supposed to pronounce it. Recruiter? Yeah. Please don't. They think you're weird if you do. Recruiter. I don't know where that came from. Dude, I want to do some therapy, unpack all the baggage. Yeah. I consider therapy to like doing the dishes of your mind. It's a chore, but it's a chore that you need to do because you need to really clean it every once in a while, because sometimes you get a lot of bad thoughts and those aren't healthy. So yeah, doing dishes of the mind. Like, weirdly enough, Rick and Morty had a very good episode on therapy, in that it kind of showed like, yeah, it's boring. Like, therapy is not necessarily fun. It's not exciting, but it is a chore, but it's a chore that you need to do, just like dishes. Also, if you all want to see the best show about therapy ever, Doom Patrol. I'm not even joking. I think it's still on HBO, but Doom Patrol is without a doubt the best show I have ever seen about therapy and the therapeutic process. I know that sounds bizarre because it's about a bunch of like C-list DC heroes, but Doom Patrol is the best way I've ever seen someone describe going through therapy. BoJack Horseman is the best way of describing someone who needs to go to therapy and doesn't. Doom Patrol is what happens when you go through it and why you need it. Harizve. Hey man, I appreciate your videos and free content. Thank you. I submitted a resume to your website. Wanted your advice on something. I graduated in CS last year in May. Only have 1 internship experience. I'm thinking of going back for master's, getting more experience because I don't have 1 to 2 levels of junior. I don't know if that's going to matter as much. The big issue right now is that like 1 year of internship may be okay. The point is, even with your master's, you really, really need to show getting your foot in the door is a nightmare, right? So getting your foot in the door is going to be the hardest job search you will ever have. And I can't say whether getting the master's is going to help with that, because by the time you graduate, the market may have shifted. But my recommendation is to look for companies close to you that may be bad or may be underpaying. I know that sounds horrible, but get that job, get about a year's experience, and use that to springboard into something else. Across most industries, getting your first year or 2 of experience is going to be the hardest. So I'm not sure if getting a master's is going to help or not, but there may be companies near you that are terrible to work for. And if you can stick it out for like a year, because if they're always hiring, they're always firing, you have a much better chance of getting any other position. So, because people say like, oh, software engineers, once they graduate, they get a lot of money. And even like before the crash, that wasn't necessarily true. It's usually software engineers that are 2 to 3 years experience. So getting your foot in the door is the hardest one. And that's going to be the tough one. Because like, look, if you look here and if you do like, let's say software developer, right? Software developer, we'll do United States, and let's do, I'm just going to say Kentucky. There are 87 positions, and if we do experience entry level, 16 in the past week. Yeah, you're going to need to go to these. So like they have integration, entry level, backend. Here, this was applied 9 hours ago and only 12 people clicked apply. So regardless of what this is stuff you'd probably be looking for, because this is entry level backend and only 12 people applied. So on site in Kentucky, this is that. So yeah, no worries. Like I can show, I can't do this on the videos, but I can do Booleans to find your location, which I'm going to try to do for channel point rewards. So this is how you would do it. And again, this was in the past week. It's very possible if there are more. So that's how you want to do it. You need to get your foot in the door. Like across almost every industry, getting your foot in the door is the most difficult search you will ever do. Even in a good market, in nursing, in accounting, in software development, in recruiting. Like as a recruiter, you usually have to go for like agency and grit it out for a couple of months before you can get some of the other stuff. So that is the hardest part. And I don't know, maybe it'll be beneficial to get the masters, but I don't know what the market's going to look like. And that's why I don't like recommending people to do stuff with what the market's going to look like, because in a year from now, the market's going to change. In a year from them, it's going to change, and I have no idea what it's going to change to. So, but yeah, like even this full stack entry level, this is how you do it. And this is only in Kentucky. If you live in a more populated place, you got a better chance. So, all right, I will do the last 2 resume reviews after the ad break. So, because I don't want to get cut off. Boo doo doo, we're dancing. Can I start it real quick? 60 seconds should be enough. No, it has to be a 1 minute and 30, otherwise I don't get to snooze it. Actually, I don't think I'm going to be gone for more than that, so I think I can do a 1 minute, and that'll be faster. All right, let's see if this works. Is it going to work? Okay, cool. Be right back. Hi, baby boy. I know. Oh, my whole thing fell. Cool. Great. There we go. Let's move that there. All right, that's bad. All right, thank you for the follow, Harris. I appreciate it. So we're gonna do the software engineering intern. All right. This is a software engineer intern. Their ratio, I don't fully know because they said 1 to 25, which is great. But then they also said they've applied to 70 places. So I don't know if that ratio is accurate. So we're just gonna have to judge it. As we're looking for a software engineer intern, we're gonna be looking specifically for a basic tech stack, the ability to work well with others, and takes direction and criticism. If they have a bunch of other internships, sometimes you're like pre-vetted. So let's see, the formatting I'm not a fan of. GPA is impressive, which is good. This should be 2 lines max, and you should definitely put this. So these should be combined into 2 lines max. And in addition to that, this should be bolded. This should not be bolded. Technical skills, you listed everything, so I don't think they're crazy useful. In addition, they should not be bolded. Not a fan of this section, at all. But some tech company, that is good. September to... Okay, make sure you have the... Okay, co-op, got it. So, here's the thing. Recruiters may not fully understand what a co-op is, and I got flack for this before, even on channel. If this is an intern, that's fine, but you have to actually show why. Because if they don't see an internship, they may see September to December 2024. What the heck? That was only a couple of months. Also, you do need to put the year here. I do understand that it's the same year here, but it just looks cleaner. This also does not need to be bolded. This should be bolded. So introduce, everything should be past tense, even if you're still working there. Introduced a master traction page on a company using Profile for an internal startup discovery tool with search filter values using Next.js. This is okay, kind of too long. Generated a migration pipeline, populated from PostSQL, okay. Automated deployment to AWS, REST. Okay, so I need to know your primary language here. Was it JavaScript? Was it Java? Assuming you use Next.js, I'm assuming it may be JavaScript, but I need to know if this is like a full stack role or whatever, because that's going to be what they're looking for. So this is not a good intro sentence. It needs to be more basic. You are good at a couple of the keywords though. So API, CD, CI/CD pipeline, I think, SQL, Next.js. I'm just missing, well, this section, which you need to put in the bullet points. Led a team of 5 engineers in the development of something, a data-driven internet action for restaurants, manage project milestones, architecture issues. So here's also where this is confusing, is you are looking for an internship position, and you were a lead developer of interns? The keywords are kind of okay here, but this is this a project? You need to show that this is a project. No, because your projects are down here. This is confusing, because if you're looking for an internship and you've been leading 5 other engineers, that doesn't track. That is going to confuse the person reading this. Now, if you were like in a master's and you were looking to, that would make more sense, because masters, the candidates do typically have some more experience, but this is just a normal internship from a bachelor's, and that is confusing. In addition, you did state that over here, which is you're available from May to 2025. I don't know if they're hiring that far in advance. Typically, and this may be something that is specific to internships that I'm missing, because I've done internships, but not the bulk of my experience as internships, is the average turnaround time for a position is if you cannot start within 3 months, you probably shouldn't apply. There is a difference to that in the EU because their laws are different, but in the United States at least, and you're in Boston, so yeah. Direct 3 lab students and 40 post lecture sites. Yeah, so here's my thing with this. Your formatting is off. There's a lot of extraneous information. You don't show what this is, how it's I guess it's a co-op, but again, recruiters may not know what a co-op is. And then you have a technical lead, and you're looking for, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So you're going to have to make that make sense, especially chronologically. And I'm going to need some more basic of the tech stacks, a little bit here. And another thing is I need to show that you can work well with others, because here you're showing how you led and you directed, which is great for a senior position. But I need to know that your boss, if you can present a piece of code, and this is how people present code, right? They do it like this, and they're like, here's my code, boss. And your boss says, hey, this is crap. Here's how you need to fix it. That you don't throw a fit and you can fix it. I need to show you can work well with others and take criticism, not necessarily lead others. There is a key difference between the two. So I think I could possibly move forward with this, but internships are highly competitive, and I want to make sure you get the best chance you can. So let's move to the next resume. Just watch both of my resume reviews. Great advice. I'm going to follow through and let you know how it goes. Perfect. Thank you. Glad to help. Also, what does everybody think of the horrifying clickbait title I have? I now have figured out a way to get thumbnails for my YouTube videos, and they're horrifying, and I hate them, but that is the meta. Is that gets views, and I hate it. I wish but one thing I have learned in corporate is good deeds die in the dark. So you need to shout your success and your basically stuff from the rooftops, because good deeds die in the dark in corporate. That's unfortunately a rule. Excuse me. And I have seen that happen to me, to others. So you absolutely need to be as bold and upfront as you can, because if you do something right and nobody knows you did it, it's like you didn't do anything at all, which is a very big thing for recruiters. So Man, we had like no front-end devs, and now it's just front-end devs. When people need resume help, the clickbait is for their own good. Yeah, it's true. And look, it's garish. I'm making it for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos are slightly different, but I think I'm going to keep with that nightmarishly green background because I can knock them out quickly. Because I don't have, look, I'm not very artistic in that way. I'm very creative. I don't know if I'm very artistic. And I feel like there is a difference between the two. And doing those things were taking a while. So what took me is I had to basically set up a system so I can knock that stuff out within like under an hour. And now I know how to do it. So Canva is amazing. If you need to learn anything, Canva is great. Canva has helped a lot. But yeah, so annoying clickbaits are a tool, and I will use that tool. And again, in corporate, if you do something good and nobody knows you did it, it's a problem. So you really, that's why I like that kudos folder. Seriously, just have an email that says kudos, and anytime your boss, your coworkers say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, put it in that folder to save. And that way, by your performance review, or if anybody says, like, what do? You can be like, bam, here's proof. That has helped me a lot. So, like, I've had our stakeholders say, you've done an amazing job, thank you. I've had the stakeholders' bosses say that, and I've kept those emails in that kudos folder. And then, if you ever look for a job, you can use those, too. So, we are at 65? Yeah, oh shoot, did I mistitle that? I think I did 64 for this. Let me check real quick. Twitch videos and my own formatting. Yeah, 64. Okay, cool. I did it right. All right, this is the resume. This is a full stack, not full stack, front-end dev. Front-end dev. Oh yeah, I really need to make this larger. This is so important and it's so small. So, all right, front-end dev, blah, 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 blah. We're good. Oh, what is their note? I need to read the notes. I have applied to 20 plus jobs, all in the front-end development engineer. I've met 100% minimum qualifications and 80% of nice to has. There's no replies or even phone screens. Okay. All right, let's go. For the last resume of this video, we are looking at another front-end dev. So they specifically said they've applied to 20 plus jobs in front-end development, and they've met the qualifications and 80% of the nice to has, but there's no interview or interview screen. So I'm going to tell you some news, and you're not going to like it. 20 is not enough. That is not nearly enough. IT right now is in a giant downturn. And even if you do meet all the qualifications, even if you are perfect for the role, you may not get everything you apply to. There's just so much competition. You need to apply early and quick. And what we're going to be looking for in front end is JavaScript, React, AngularJS, HTML, CSS, PHP, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, WordPress, Git, Docker, Jira, React, Vue, Next, any extra languages, Cloud, UI, UX, and SASS. SASS. I hate those words. So let's see if you do have those. All right. Front end, again, this is so long. Where's your education? Okay, boot camp. That makes sense. Wait, you have full stack? So this confuses me. If this is a BS degree, a bachelor's in science of a CS, computer science degree, so a BSCS, this should be here instead of a boot camp. Boot camps are if you don't have any of the direct experience. So that's going to be part of the issue, is boot camps are not looked as favorably. So if you do have a CS degree, you should just have that, and it should be up top. This skills section is way too loud. Way too much. So, okay, in nearby states. Also, this is kind of confusing. Keep it simpler. Led the development in architecture, 20 plus progressive apps in a single page using theoretic leveraging. React, TypeScript, Vue, JS. Okay, where's the JavaScript? Where's the HTML? Where's the CSS? Again, these are correct, but I need more. Increased user engagement by integrating. This is not any of the keywords I'd be looking for. Improve site performance by 50%. Again, no keywords I'm looking for. Design pixel perfect framework using Wacko Blubble compliance, recharge framework or Tailwind CSS. The only thing I'm looking for is CSS. Conduct integrated browsing, Mocha test. Again, no keywords here that I'm looking for. Authorized technical document, reducing onboarding time by that. Coding standard. CI/CD is one of them. Manage and optimize backend scripts using AWS. That's solid. Okay, here's your problem right here. You don't have half these keywords in here. I need to see your very first sentence say say JavaScript, Angular, HTML, CSS, PHP. I need to see it also say AWS, which is important. So JavaScript, HTML, CSS, AWS should be in your first one. Then React, TypeScript, Vue, Next, Node.js, GraphQL, and REST API are perfect. That's good. I need those in another sentence. But like here, I don't care about any of this except for this right here, CSS. And then if you keep going, I don't care about this. You have 4 sentences that are largely irrelevant to what I would be looking for, both on the manager side and the recruiter side. Like maybe I could get it. You could get an interview with this because it does look like you have a lot of experience. But yeah, I don't. It doesn't. This is not enough. So because you have a bunch of stuff that is completely not related, and I know people get mad at this, but the keywords matter. I need these. If it's not here, it may not be important in your resume. Now, if you said improve site performance by 50% using JavaScript, HTML, React, blah 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 blah, that would be beneficial. But yeah, you don't have enough of the keywords. And even if this is a solid resume, which honestly, I don't want to harp on that too much. I think it's an okay resume. I think it's like a 1 in 50, 1 in 60 resume, right? So I think with this resume, you would get one interview per 60 applications. But again, you've only applied to 20. That does not cut it in this market. Here, 2021, you only needed like 20 applications and you'd get a lot of stuff. But in late 2022, the IT market crashed hard and we have not recovered. This is not the same market you started at here. And I wish I could tell you there's some secret formula, and there is, to getting more resumes, but getting more interviews. But even then, a 1 in 20 application ratio is insane. I think ideally you should get 1 in 25, 1 in 30. If you can get it lower, that's great. But we are not in 2021 market anymore. We are in a different market. So I think this could be moved forward, but it's more like a 1 in 50, 1 in 60 ratio. So it is a grind and it's a nightmare, but that's the way it is. So resubmit, fix it up, but you definitely need to fix this stuff up in the resume, and you're going to need more than 20 applications, even with a phenomenal resume. So I hope you all like this content. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will see you all in the next video. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Is that they might have to sit hundreds of applications. It is a grind, and it sucks. So I'm fully with you on that one. Also, Harris, when did you submit your resume? Because I am just finished a resume that was submitted to me on the 25th. There are a lot more. There are like 30 more ahead. So it usually takes about a week and a half. Okay, yeah, no, it'll be maybe next week, a week and a half. Yeah. Wait, why does it say you're a possible ban evader? You're not. Why does it say this? Do you view what they've sent in chat? The hell? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, I have no idea why it was saying that. I didn't notice anything. Hey, Rosie. Rosie is my fiance, by the way. So everybody say hi to her. Fiance as of the week before last. So 66.5, I think. I saw you on YouTube and signed up for Twitch just for your content. Perfect. Got it. Yeah, I'm glad that YouTube has been working. The YouTubes. Or as my father said once, Twitter face, which was the weirdest one I've ever heard of. But okay, that is, let me fix that. And now we are going to raid. Everybody get your last minute questions in. Again, I will be back tomorrow. Yeah, let's raid a channel. This is when we will raid a channel. So let's see who is open to raid. Yes, thank you for joining me. And remember, raiding really helps me. This is something free you can give me. Is raiding another channel. So raid, let's say browser. Awesome, thank you. I'm very glad, Harris. I'm very happy. All right, let's see. Who are we streaming and raiding? Let's see. It's been a bit since I did Lana Lux. Felicia Day is okay. Adam Learns Live, I think, is neat. Nova done. Yeah, let's do Adam Learns Live. I like this guy. He's very chill. So let's go with this. Alrighty. Is he here? I have no idea if he's actually... Oh, yeah, he is. He's making a video game. So, well, if we all keep up... No, wait, I don't know if they're actually here. Let's... I think they are... Let's choose a different rate. I need to make sure they're here. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's do this right. So, let's do similar streamers. Let's gonna say... I don't know who these are. Let's do... I have no idea who this is. But they have a cool little thing. So let's do this person. Hopefully they're cool. I have no idea. None of the other ones I've done have rated. So hopefully this is a cool stream, and I have not put you all into something horrifying, which I truly do not know until we raid, which is, I think, part of the fun. So yeah, let's see what this is. Oh yeah, but yeah, so when a resume is submitted, it takes about a week and a half for me to actually get there. So let's see, we've got 12 viewers rating. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. I hope this content is good. I will see you all next time.